Shirt show. All right, let's go.
Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Talking shirt! Shirt show! Shirt, man! All right! Episode 58 of Shirt Show. We're talking with Alan from Proper Printshop in Texas. Let's go!
Hey, fuckface. Happy birthday to you. That's about it again.
That's
I'm not doing the whole thing.
On Friday, all of the girls came in the office and I was like, no. And they hit me with it.
And you fired them all.
This meeting is being recorded.
You know what it's like getting happy birthday sung to you?
It's the worst.
Yeah. Howdy.
Hey, what's going on?
Just having a birthday weekend, you know?
Birthday weekend?
Yeah, the whole, like when your birthday falls on a Friday, I feel like you just keep it going, you know, like the whole weekend.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
Well, I mean, by party, I mean,
Sleep?
not a lot. Yeah, not a lot.
Well, you went out Friday night, right?
Yeah, kind of. And Saturday night, I just did a family thing.
This sounds really exciting.
You need to give me a story, like a birthday story, like the best birthday party ever. Probably my best birthday party ever when I was a kid. We set up a sprinkler in the yard, you know?
Wow.
I was probably, I'm going to say I was maybe, you know.
How are you still alive?
Second grade. You know, when you do the sprinkler in the yard and you run through it and then you sit on it and stuff. Yeah. Oh man, it's a party.
Nope. You don't sit on it.
Yeah. No, you do. You sit on it.
All right.
But yeah, that was a good birthday with the sprinkler. How about yours? What was your favorite birthday?
I honestly have no idea.
You don't celebrate.
I don't do birthday
acknowledge. Yeah. I didn't think so.
I don't ever do anything. Like even as a kid, I probably only had like one or two parties.
Like you didn't go roller skating or anything? Like, hey, we're having a party at the...
Between you roller skating and sitting on a hose.
Dude, I went
really awesome.
Like we went to the rink. Like
I'm glad I skipped those.
Well, you missed out. I'm just saying you missed out of the all night skate. Like when you actually spent the night at the roller rink.
Was that some guy down the road named Teddy and you were at his house and you stayed the night after?
It was his garage. Yeah, it was. I thought it was pretty normal. I guess not, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, enough about me. Let's talk about you.
No, I want to talk about you.
I am the birthday boy. When's your birthday, by the way? I totally forgot. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
September.
It's funny too because Alex was talking to me about the install for the auto reclaim, and he said he wants to do it on the week of September 27th, and I was like, that's my birthday. So
it'll be perfect. He'll be down.
I'm getting auto reclaim for my birthday.
And Alex. Right? So it's like a 2 for 1.
He's gonna do a dance for me.
Yeah, he did for me this weekend too. He flew down.
I bet.
Yeah, Friday night. Yeah. It was it was lit. What about our week? We already talked. That's the thing. Like I think what it was you missed me and called me on.
That was like Wednesday.
Okay. So
there's more week.
Catch me up. Where we at?
Catch me outside.
After that.
I had 2 new hires start this week. They both are awesome.
Oh, they're both awesome.
Yeah, they're both awesome.
I had 2 new hires also start this week.
Nice.
They're both awesome.
Rich is the new screen tech. He actually has like multiple podcasts, which is funny. He's been doing it for longer than we have. He's been doing it for like 3-4 years. He has a wrestling podcast. He has a nerds podcast. And he came into, like, we talk about like movies and stuff now a lot, which is awesome. And he came in the office and showed me that he got accepted to be a like the guy who goes around at Comic-Con and like interviews people, like an interviewer, I guess. Like a media pass.
Okay.
So he got accepted for that. So that's pretty sweet. So he's cool. Great dude. And then Morgan is a new front desk girl, customer service, and she's been doing awesome. Like it's nice when you like kind of train somebody for like 2-3 days, and then they're like, yeah, I don't need you. Like, I got this. It's fine.
That's really good.
Yeah. So she did that pretty much after Wednesday. She's like, yeah, I got it. It's fine. And I had like customer that like one of our big customers we deal with all the time. And I was just busy on Friday and I was like, hey, can you write this invoice for me? And then I had a meeting. And then when I got out of the meeting, I went over, I was like, oh, do you need me to like, what do you need me to run through on that invoice and help you out? She's like, no, it's done, gone. Like I sent it to the customer already, like everything on it, like made the mock-ups, made the invoice, everything. So I was like, hell yeah. How's the war with the birds? You gotta keep us updated on your bird issue.
I think the birds are kind of, you know, like they grew up. They made a suicide pact. Like they all, I think they said, look, we don't have hope.
think you put out a bunch of bowls of antifreeze around the building.
I didn't. Nope. I wouldn't want nature. I want nature to kind of play itself out.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever's happening, they're realizing like, look, we're assholes. Let's kill ourselves because there's a couple of dead ones out there. And then there's some babies that fell.
Yeah. So basically they were all baby birds and it was crazy for a while. And then they grew up and flew away and started their own lives. And the ones that didn't make it fell on the ground.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how it works. Is that nature?
That's nature. I should have a Nat Geo show where I just narrate.
Yeah, you could start another podcast with your buddy. What'd you say? Don't tell me his name. You said his name, and I was paying attention. Morgan was the girl.
Mm-hmm. Big dick. His name's Richard, and he's tall, so he's obviously going to be called Big Dick.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Hey, how's the purple cow coming for you?
It's coming.
Do they have audio?
I don't know. I haven't checked yet. I'll knock it out. I heard there was an audio version of it though.
It's really good. It's easy. There's not a whole lot to it. I'm halfway, I think, roughly.
Tell me about it. Give me a little bit about it.
I can't.
You don't want to ruin it for me?
Yeah. You want to talk about the people who sponsor our show?
Sure.
Okay. Easy Way. So Easy Way's line of eco-friendly chemicals will get the job done faster, more efficiently, and will cost you a fraction of the cost per
screen.
Were you pushing a button?
Nope.
No.
I was just
because boop. We only have one button.
Mm-hmm.
I have it. We don't have it. I have the button.
Nope, that's true. Yeah.
So, Easy Way.
It's the easiest way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now pull your fucking magnificent piece of art out.
Be nice about it.
I am being nice about it. It's a magnificent piece of art.
I sensed a little bit of like sarcasm in it.
Andy, will you pull it out for me?
Sure. Let's see. Anytime, Dylan.
That's what I like to hear.
Ready?
Go ahead. Dude, seriously, I was like, I like jerked it real quick. Like I was like, I'm gonna fucking.
You jerked it?
I jerked it. I got, you gotta let us blow some steam off once in a while.
Okay. Well, don't get too excited here. Here we go. Frank's story.
No. So anyway, I ordered screens from Frank and he said he shipped them and that was right before the 4th. And then I checked the tracking number and it said it was delivered. Well, on that same day it says it was delivered, I saw you or Chad posted on the Shirt Calling page that you got like a new batch of screens with carts, with the job carts. And I was like, that motherfucker got my screens. Like I thought like they got shipped to you instead of me because it said delivered. No. So what happened, I guess, was the trucking company handed them off to like another company because that trucking company doesn't come all the way up here or something. And the other company just was taking its sweet time bringing it. Like they just like left it in their warehouse for a couple of days and then brought it up. So I ended up getting them on Friday. Okay. But long story short, I just was like, that motherfucker got my screens.
Dude, I wish so bad that we did. That would have been so great.
And you just kept them and used them.
Like, these screens are great, Dylan.
Yeah.
Loving them. So thanks, Frank.
We love you.
And those of you that don't know, he also makes screen cards if you want to push your screens around your shop. And what I love about them is two things. One, they're made out of the same aluminum tubes. Yeah. Same. So it looks cool. And then two, the casters are beefy.
Oh yeah. Beef Town.
Like there's some beefy Beef Town. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Beef Town.
Yeah. Those wheels are Beef Town.
Right.
Anyway, GSF, that stands for Graphic Screen Fashion.com. All right.
Or Frank.com.
Right. There's two ways to
5S.
get there.
Mm-hmm.
Monarch. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about Monarch. Let's talk about that beautiful spreadable ink.
Yeah, man, it just comes right out of the cord.
Secreting it through the screen.
Dude, you can't say that.
I can't say secrete.
No, this is a sponsor that they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you. Especially,
I'm gonna call Aaron right now and be like, "Hey, does your ink secrete?"
He doesn't want to hear you whispering it. So,
why not?
Hey, is it okay when I'm talking about your inks if I whisper weird words? Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, it's okay, right? Right, buddy.
What I like about Monarch is their super opaque mixing system.
Mm-hmm.
Use it. Do we use it every day? No, I don't think we do. But we use it
every day.
We use it about every other day. Let's say every other day. So how many days a week is that if you use it every other day?
Depends on which day you're using it on. Because if you're using it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then it's 3 days. If you're using it Tuesday, Thursday, it's only 2 days.
Right. So we use it either 2 or 3 days a week.
This is entertaining.
Yeah. Ink better, print better, be better.
Live Moss.
Monarch. Mm-hmm. That was like poetry.
Yeah. Basically.
Mm-hmm. It's 4:02 p.m. Central Standard Time, Sunday, July 11th, 2021.
Did you want me to say one?
Yeah, you were going to say the last. I thought we knew.
North America, Earth, Milky Way galaxy, universe.
Mm. Whatever's after that.
Right. Who knows?
Yeah. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Something's after that. So we have Alan Hodson, Proper Printshop from El Paso, Texas, and he's in the waiting room.
Texas.
Are you ready? Are we recording?
Born ready, motherfucker.
Are we recording?
I gotta get a sip. I gotta get a sippy. Oh, hey, can you hear me? Hey, baby. Hey, can you hear me?
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
Hello. Hey. Happy birthday there, baby bear.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, sweetie.
Okay.
Made me feel good.
Gave me some feels right before.
Okay, well.
All right. Let him in. Hey,
what's up?
there. Hey, look, he can hear us right off the bat.
Yeah, I know. Like he's prepared.
Is that a press in the background?
Oh, nah, that's a Roland sticker machine right there, and that's a.
Well, it's a machine.
Yeah, no, hold on. That is actually a Vibe interactive whiteboard. I can tell. And with the red stand. Can you let's just get right into that, because that right there I've been dreaming of ever since.
He's like, what did I get myself into?
Well, it's a beautiful thing. So you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. Are we on? Are we live? Are we?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we go right when I hit record.
Andy wants to know about the whiteboard right away before we figure out who you are or anything.
That's right.
Yeah, no, it's an interactive whiteboard. We've had it a few months now. I told Andy about it. We were messaging back and forth. It's nice just because we can put up our production schedule. We can put up basically anything. You know, the very first thing we did was draw a dick on it. I mean, that was
obviously.
Yeah. It comes with a pen, and literally we drew a dick on there. But
and that's so far that's the best thing that's happened.
So you
With
got
the
it
board.
out of the box, plug it in, turn it on, drew a big dick on it, and you're like, hey, works, good to go.
texted a couple buddies. Yeah, that was it.
Perfect. I love it.
Yep. But no, it's handy. It's interactive, so I can. I've got my stuff pulled up over there now, so when we're having meetings, I can, pull up screens or whatever. You can't see anything on it, but plus the guys can touch it and interact with my computer too. So if they need to open emails or move through Monday, they can do it through the screen.
So you're a morning meeting kind of guy then?
No, not really. I forget to do it. When we have meetings, we use it. It's kind of just something that people come in and go, "Oh, that's nice," but I could use it a whole lot more. But right now, it just kind of it's good for when customers are in here too, because they're not leering over my shoulder.
Yeah, that sucks.
Trying to get behind my computer, so I can just say, "Hey, look over there," and they back up a couple feet.
That's nice.
So,
Yeah.
Andy, what did you just get? You got like a TV with a stand? Like, what was that for?
So the reason why I like the idea of this Vibe interactive board is that my thought was anyway, is that you could do like a Zoom call, with a customer and show them like a virtual showroom in a sense. Like it has, because there's a camera on there and you can bring up different things and they can view it, like right with you. And so that was my main reason for wanting it. And you can also use it for production meeting. And so we kind of cheated because I had bought just a flat screen for our screen room because I thought that we would need an additional one because the way we run our CTS, we wanted a bigger screen, but we never ended up using it. And so I had this extra, monitor, I guess, display. And we thought, well, we could kind of fake it and pretend we have a Vibe. And so we'll run it off of a iPad. And so here's how it's not a smart TV either. So it was like, it's a dumb TV. And so I bought an iTV. It's not called an iTV. It's called an Apple TV. And our iPad mirrors to this TV, right? And so what we do in our production meeting in the morning is we just pull Monday up. And so why we love that is that we can, while we're going through our meeting, and let's say that we don't have approval on art or something like the shirts aren't going to be here, well, we can move that job to the next day, like right there. Before we were making notes and saying, oh, when we get back to our desk, be sure to move Monday this way. Or, hey, we have to call this customer. Let's call this customer, later. But now we can do it right there, standing there, in our meeting and get answers quickly. And so that's why we love it. And so it's kind of a cheap, like a poor man's Vibe TV. But the funniest thing about it is that we put a phone on it, like with a dongle. So it's just a wireless phone, let's say. So
you put a dong on your TV too.
We put a dong on it, exactly, on our phone. And the funniest thing is that after our production meeting, we roll it to the end of the dryer. And so it goes as our quality control, like where we proof things so we can bring up, big proofs and see it.
Right. I saw you were forcibly making your staff watch Shirt Show the other day.
That's right. They have to watch all day long. They have to watch on repeat. Yeah. But the funniest thing is the most popular thing about all of this is just the phone, because what'll happen is they'll, at the end of the dryer, they'll just call people, prank them, like everybody in the office, they'll fuck with everybody. And so all this trouble, and now we're just prank calling people at the end of a dryer. Perfect. Basically all day.
So, hey, Alan, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Let's get into this a little bit. So, what's going on for you on the Sunday?
Not a whole lot. I was asleep 30 minutes ago, trying to rest up, just take a quick nap before this. I live upstairs in my shop. Really? Yeah.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And it's too bad I can't show you like pictures of it or video or something, but it's a ton of space, man. We moved into this facility right when COVID, like a week before COVID happened.
Oh,
we Yeah, we signed the lease over here. It's 14,000 square feet, so there's plenty of room for us to kind of grow into.
Yeah, for sure.
And our last shop was 4,000, so it's a big upgrade. But it's nice. The upstairs, like right above this side of things where the offices are, is basically just a big loft area. And we redid the floors. We painted. So I mean, it's pretty swanky. It's kind of like a New York loft.
Right, it's just a cool loft. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of room, and then there's 2 other bedrooms. There was already a shower there, so we just kind of re-upped the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
My fiance moved in a couple months ago with 5 dogs, and so it's it's a little hairy, but
Literally.
it's very hairy. Yeah, we have 3 doors to the building, which is nice. The first door comes into here, and so you can deal with somebody. The middle door, actually you walk in and then there's some stairs there and a little kitchen that we made it, but that's essentially our entrance and nobody else goes in it, and we can just go up right to our spot. And then the third door is now our gift shop. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. Now, you said that you moved in a week before COVID. Were you just like, oh fuck, like what's going to happen now? Or because that sounds like a huge leap from 4,000 to 14,000 right before COVID happened.
Yeah. The other thing too is we were stuck on our last lease for a year, paying $3,315 a month on the old space just while it sat there. We were technically stuck for 2 years there, but we thought the landlord there would take like a kill fee of a few months or something, and he didn't. So yeah, it was it was a bit of a shit show. And yeah, full disclosure, the only reason we're still around is EIDL, disaster relief loan, and PPP. Everything the government did basically. That shit. Like we just said, let's just swing for the stars with the how much we're asking for, and they gave us a big chunky amount, and it allowed us to stay afloat basically, while all that shit was happening. And we dropped, probably 150 into the building since we moved in, and don't own it yet. I'd like to purchase it, but right now it's we're renting it from.
It's on the table though.
It's on the table. Yeah. The shitty thing is the landlord's really cool, but he's an architect here in town. Real nice dude. Kind of wants to be, he's kind of taken the role of dad of like, any projects we have, he's very involved in it. Mm-hmm. But when I asked him about buying the building, he kind of, I don't know, not push back, but I think he wants to take everything that we've done and add a couple $100,000 and then sell it back to us. And, that's kind of, I was hoping he would maybe sell it to us for what he bought the building for.
Yeah.
Yeah. He specifically bought it for us to move in here. So.
Now, why were you in such a hurry to leave your last place?
Because we're idiots. Perfect ready.
Explanation.
Yeah, we're ready, fire, aim a lot of the time.
I don't know. I mean, if you don't have enough space and you're constricted, and regardless of if you have a year or 2 years left on your lease, if it makes more sense for you to go and get more space so that you can produce more, then maybe it was a good move. You know what I mean? That's probably what you were thinking is that.
But that doesn't sound like what his story is about to go, because he said we're idiots. So I want to hear.
Yeah, no, you're both right. Actually, I'm an idiot, and we did have a plan. The plan was to do retail out of the old location. So for I don't know, 8 years now, we've screen printed shirts, and I've had some of my own silly designs, just El Paso centric kind of dumb shit. And so we would, people would buy them, and so we put 8 or 10 of them up on the wall, and for the past few years, people just show up to the shop and buy them, $20 or whatever. And so the plan was to, move in here, scale up a bit, get a second auto. It's plenty of room to do events and stuff that we used to do at the old shop. We were just going to kind of blow out, finally really try at retail and go kind of balls out there. And so we did have a plan. It wasn't just like, hey, it's a Tuesday, let's do this. But it was, the timing of it was, just crazy.
Yeah. Now, I kind of want to go back to when did you decide to start doing like kind of like retail stuff as far as like making designs for your town or your area?
So, I mean, that goes back to just the reason I started screen printing, maybe 13, 14 years ago. I was living in Houston. I was always intrigued with just like being able to communicate with anybody, like a random stranger. You don't have to talk to them. You can be across the street, but if they read what's on your shirt, it just gives you a little glimpse into their mind, how they work, how they think. So I met a dude out there in Houston, Juan from New City Screen Printing, super nice man, real nice family. I was having trouble. I was trying to read books and figure out how to screen print, and it wasn't working. It's not how I learn. And so I went to one of the supply stores and said, hey, do you know anybody that could teach me, like, that I could sweep their shop or do whatever? And right away he's like, oh, go talk to Juan. And so apparently he had, he teaches anybody, or did then, that wanted to learn. He's just an open book. And in 6 months, I learned what he learned in 15 years, and I'd go every day after waiting tables, and I would just wash screens and sweep the floor and just say, hey, why are you doing that? And why are you doing this? And then finally started doing some of my own silly, dumb shit designs. Fast forward a couple years, I was homeless and strung out and all this other shit. Houston is a very nice city if you're a very nice person, I think. It's just part of my story, and I'll get into it.
I want to hear it.
Yeah, wait,
for
homeless. Sure. So homeless meaning like you were sleeping in your car type of thing?
That too. I did that for a while, but I literally walking down Westheimer with a garbage bag full of my shit. I didn't stay like homeless too long, but I was just, I'm a recovering alcoholic addict, and so that's a big part of my story. Things got bad. I started smoking whatever you had, and quickly things got worse. But I moved back here to El Paso, not because, basically my mom went out there and just went like, you're coming home. Like, this is it. I was living with whoever the hell would put me up, playing poker, playing video games, just, I don't know what, smoking a ton of weed all the time. I love weed, but I can't fuck with it. I don't know. Some of my heroes are like this dude, Zach, in college that he smoked the best weed all the time. He had a cute girlfriend and he got A's in class. I smoked weed and just played Sega 94 hockey and, got fat. Yeah, it was horrible.
I feel like he had school and you were just like Sega.
Yeah. And he went running and did all this like productive shit, just totally high. There's people like that. They can smoke and be productive, and man, more power to them. Anyway, my mom went out and just basically said, you're coming back. So she scooped me up. We drove back. This was 11 years ago in December.
Back where?
Back to El Paso. I was in Houston. It was a couple weeks of just being in my parents' house, hating life, because my mom was just like, well, what are you doing? And like, what are you going to do with your life? And, all this shit. And I started going back to AA. I had done that before. I had sobered up before, but, kind of given up on it. And I did that just to kind of get out of the house. And eventually, it started kind of, even though I didn't really want to stay sober, it kind of kicked in, I guess. Long story short there, I met a dude in the program that had an old press, an old Blue Max 2 M&R, 80s press, and a little tiny crazy dryer. I forget what it was called. Black something.
Was it a Black Max?
A Black Max, I think so. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, little fuses on top. But it's the same Blue Max that I learned. Juan has, a couple autos now, and some, the guy that taught me in Houston, but he had an old Blue Max 2 press, and it was the same exact one that I learned on over there. And so this dude sold it to me for $1,200, the press and the dryer and some screens and stuff. And at the time I had no money, so my parents, helped me out. This was me at 32. Yeah, about 32 years old. So yeah, just like a good addict, I got obsessed. I got, it's all or nothing for me.
It's way better to go hard into that instead of something else.
Yeah, no, for sure. One of these days I'll get hard into doing sit-ups and exercise, and then you guys can have me back.
I'm waiting for that day too, dude.
Yeah. I'll get fucking ripped.
Like Andy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
All right. So you get this prep for $1,200. You get a setup, and you put it in your garage or something, or where do you put it?
My back of my parents' house in the porch.
Outside.
Outside. Yeah. Yeah. So El Paso is dry. It's a desert out here. It gets cold as shit in the winter. It can snow every now and then. But we get these windstorms, these dust storms. It's like zero visibility sometimes. It's disgusting. But I found out that that doesn't really affect plastisol too much. There's customers of mine out there that are walking around with shirts full of dust and plastisol like caked in there together.
It's more sandpapery.
Yeah. It's got an extra feel to it.
It's natural.
But,
it's that El Paso touch.
Mm-hmm.
It is. So anyway, yeah, I just started. That's when I had all the time in the world, and so I learned Corel Draw. I know there's designers that are just their ears are bleeding right now when I said that.
Corel Draw works. I mean,
Corel Draw works.
I'm not knocking it. Like, you can create art and you can separate it and you can print it out.
Yeah, it's a vector. Yeah, and a lot of shops I have found just small mom and pop shops, for whatever reason, Corel Draw is easier to use than Illustrator, and so that's what Juan learned on, and that's what I learned on. And
plus it was such a native to like the PC, more so. Right. Like when it started anyway, it was easier and cheaper for the PC. That's how I remember it being. Oh, anyway. But I don't knock it.
Yeah, no, it's a good program. I still use it to this day. I love it. And my designers that I have now that come out of college and they're all Mac and, Adobe products, I force them to use Corel just to do separations. So, I love that part. Anyway, so that's when I started I had all the time in the world, nothing to do. I'd watch Corel Draw videos on, just how to vectorize logos and, just dumb shit like that. And I made myself silly AA related shirts. My sponsor can kick your sponsor's ass. Just taking the slogans from.
Were you just taking these to meetings? You're like, hey guys, look what I did.
Well, not exactly. I was wearing them to meetings. So I'd make one and I'd wear one, and then my buddies would find them funny and be like, dude, make me one. And, next thing I know, I sold 5. I had $100 in my pocket, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. This is kind of neat. I found out real quickly. So every city that, has an AA club or whatever, or just meetings. But most cities have like a yearly AA convention, or NA for Narcotics Anonymous. So we have one here, and it was coming up. And so I said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to, make some designs and go there. I'm going to rent a hotel room in there. I'm going to see how it goes. And I did that, and it was a hit, man. My shit is not like anybody else's. There is some, or at the time there was some 12-step stuff, but it was like, holy shit, horrible clip art, like, with a dude. I don't know. I mean, it was just, they were really, really bad, and nothing original. It was just one day at a time, or, this.
Yeah. Stuff that's not like original and funny or anything like that. It's just like inspirational quotes.
Yeah. Totally. Live, laugh, love kind of shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I made some designs. I did like an Andy Warhol of one of the founders, Bill W., just different shit. And it was cool. I sold a couple hundred shirts there, and it's a small annual meeting that we have here in El Paso compared to other big cities. So then I heard that the International AA convention was coming up, and that was 60,000 people, and that was happening in San Antonio. And so I just decided, fuck this, I'm going. And, with my parents' help again, they reluctantly, skeptically bought me a whole shitload of shirts, 2,000 of them, and just watched me go bananas in the backyard every day, for hours and hours and hours, just making designs. And one of the lessons that I learned there that I still share with people that come in and like they have their little brand and they want to do white shirts and black shirts is everybody wears black, not everybody wears white. And I was going to print all 2,000, 20 different designs, but I was just going to do all black shirts. And one friend in Houston said like, oh man, I don't wear black. It's too hot. And so like an idiot, well, anyway, I'm a little self-deprecating, but I bought 1,500 white and 1,500 black, and I sold 1,400 black and 100 white. So, there's still boxes of, Juan Day at a time, just dumb shit at my parents' house.
Yeah, but how else do you say you're an idiot? I mean, I say that kind of stuff all the time too, because, you're taking a guess, you're taking like your best guess and you're taking a risk, but, and you go for it. And you didn't know until you did that. And then you show up to the convention and then you're like, oh shit, well,
you don't know until you know.
Yeah. And then you found out and you're like, okay, well, I'm not doing that again. And so your next convention, you'll do it differently, and so I don't know, you got to do it. Sometimes you just got to get out there and make it happen, so.
Yeah. I am not an idiot, and I also am an idiot, and I'm okay with that. And
I feel like we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, that sums up my description of myself too.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So that's how I started printing my own designs. Was that just like, again, super niche, but there's like millions of recovering people around the world, and at the time there wasn't a lot of competition or options for like.
Are there now?
There's a lot now. Yeah. If you happen to want to sober up and, or if you do sober up and go to an international convention, man, there's gotta be 10, 20 different like t-shirt vendors with like, and a lot of cool designs too, man. Just,
is your stuff, is it online now or is it just at in-person conventions?
I haven't done recovery shirts in years now. It's been about 5 years. The shop took off, I think. And that's what, at least in my understanding, people that want to start a brand, that learn to screen print, it's like, cool, yeah, let's do this. And then you wind up being a screen printer for others. And that's what happened with me. So I just, the business Proper took off. Well, recovery shirts at the time. I bought Proper and merged with a friend about 6 years ago. But
so Proper was another shop before, and you bought that shop?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. It was some other.
And that was at this building you came from, the 4,000 square feet.
No, that was one or two buildings before that. Yeah, they moved around. We were in the same building at one point. But Proper Printshop was founded by my old business partner JJ Childress, and then two of his business partners. But they were like the cool kids in town. They would do all the hip stuff. They would have ping pong tournaments and have bands playing live and doing all this kind of stuff. So they were more well known for that. I was more of just a grinder and perfectionist, and the shit needs to get out when it needs. It needs to be perfect and it needs to be on time. And so they were closing their doors, and I approached JJ and said, "Hey, let me buy the name from you, and you stay on as a 10% owner and just do like the bookkeeping," which we did at first. And then he quit his investment banking job and came back. So we were 50-50 for a few years.
How did that go, or how did that end?
We haven't spoken. Like, he tried to kill me like 3 weeks ago. No, it wasn't that bad. It was,
I was fucking hoping that was like real. And you were like, let's go into that one.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. It ended. So he took a job with Microsoft. He's like their point man here in town. He's doing super well with that. The dude's a really, really smart business guy. And so he's been full time with them, and then just like doing this on the side for a couple of years. And we just got to a point where, not enough bandwidth for him. And I just need to freaking man up and learn how to be a business owner. And so what's interesting is you guys are actually a big part of that for me. It's funny that like right when all that was happening, I just started, you guys started the podcast, and you're talking about shit that, you know, it applies to me, but stuff that I just didn't think about, you know. I have a laundry list of like little stuff, just even thinking about, where do I want my business? Do I want to stay local, or do I want to do online like, you know, Dylan's doing? And, you know, you seem to be less phased by COVID than most other shops that do, right. You know, rely on just walk-ins and stuff like that. So, it's been good. We parted, we were doing a live broadcast. We had kind of branched into that. We had a live broadcast studio upstairs with a TriCaster. It's like a mini newsroom essentially. And we were starting to do live streaming events that you could monetize, because it'd be like doing this, but like on the right, you could see like the t-shirt, and then you could buy it without leaving the site. You know, people could be watching this live right now, leaving comments and doing all this kind of stuff. It's a pretty cool software. But that was more JJ's thing than mine. That was his vision. And when he was getting pulled to Microsoft a little bit more, I just didn't want to be left with all that. It was like, right. You know, 50,000 worth of equipment. And it sounds like you were like the printing. I don't know if I have this right. It sounds like you were the printing technical side of things, designs and the creative, and your partner was the business side. Is that how it would kind of, okay. And so those were your roles. And then he was getting pulled away because he wasn't all in. It wasn't like an equal 50-50.
He had Bill Gates going like,
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, I mean, so we were equal 50-50 in pay, and that was, and I knew that, and I was happy with that, just because I was unwilling to, I didn't want to look at the business stuff for whatever reason. And right. The accounting and the, you know, all that crap. So yeah, you're totally right. I was more on the creative, just running the shop day to day kind of thing. And making sure people were happy and customers were happy and jobs came out looking good. And he was just more on the back end, filling out, you know, the paperwork you got to fill out to join Learfield or any kind of, right. We do stuff for our local university, UTEP and all that. I can't, I hate that stuff.
It sounds like, you had, like, it was working. It sounds like your roles were different enough anyway that partnership was working, because a lot of times partnerships are one of two ways, right? You know, they're horrible, they crash and burn, or they work out. Yeah. And I don't know, sounds like you were working it out. However, I think he wanted to leave and you were sort of like, oh shit, what am I going to do? But you stepped up. Yeah.
I did. And again, it coincided with listening to you guys talk to a bunch of shop owners about shit that I was either thinking about or needed to think about. And so, it's been super cool, man.
So how have you been doing that? I guess, like, taking over that business side. Do you feel like you're doing pretty well, or?
So I go to AA, I go to NA, I go to SAA, that's Sex Addicts Anonymous. I go to, I need to go to OA, Overeaters Anonymous. I've gone to a few meetings.
It sounds like Fight Club. Sounds a little bit like Fight Club.
He's like, I go to Fight Club on Saturdays.
I'm only halfway done. No, I also go to DA, which is Debtors Anonymous. And there's a subset of that, which is Business Debtors Anonymous. And kind of right at the same time, I've always been shitty with money, man. Like, just, it burns a hole in my pocket. Don't know how to save. I would owe the IRS more every year. And yet, like, I was paying my bills. I was just completely vague and head in the dirt about money. And a couple of years ago, got back into Debtors Anonymous, and then like this little subset called Business Debtors Anonymous. And there's like meetings every morning. I can just call in. It's 30 minutes, but it's like, dude, these people are speaking my language, man. Like, they don't know what the fuck anything is from anything. And so I really felt like it's a house of cards. Like I have this business and I have 12 employees and, there's money coming in and money going out, but I can't read a P&L and I can't, I don't know what the hell to do with all this shit. Long story short, I've been working that program. And there's it's super cool. There's this thing called a pressure relief group. And so once a month I get together with a male and a female and I just talk to them about what's giving me pressure. And it could be, my taxes, it could be anything really, any place where there's financial pressure. And I actually had one right before us talking today, and dude, it's fucking amazing. I've honestly come a really long ways. I run payroll now, which isn't really that hard. You just tally up the hours and pay people. But, for some reason I thought it was fucking,
See, I don't want you to feel alone on this either, because and we've kind of talked about this over the whole podcast of that's 100% not my thing either. I was the same way. I grew up with not a lot of money. And then I felt like when I started to get into a little bit of money as being a business owner, I was just like, oh, I want one of these. I need this. I was just buying shit. Right. And then it got to the point a couple of years in the business where I started to feel the pressure of I have employees now and I don't have enough to pay payroll. So it's all right, well, I'll take these couple orders and I'll pay payroll. And then I'll buy the blanks for those after a couple more orders come in. And it got to be so shitty and so stressful that I was just I can't fucking do it this way. So then same thing. I had to basically come to the realization that I'm not good at that. I need to just understand that I am not good at managing the money. I'm not good at doing taxes. I'm not good at any of that stuff. So I had to just basically hire somebody I can trust, my accountant or whatever, and just be hey, treat me I told her straight up. I was treat me like a 2-year-old. I just want to know every week how much to have in an account to make sure the shit's covered. Right. And you do everything else to make sure the government doesn't come take my shit. Right. So she does the payroll and taxes and everything. I just basically do what I do best, which sounds like you. You sounds like you're super fucking creative and you have the mind to do the printing side of business because you're passionate about it. And it's that I'm the same way. I don't think the other way. Even when I have to go sit in an accountant meeting, she's asking me questions about things and I just look at her and I'm are you fucking seriously asking me those questions right now? Because I have no idea. I literally do this 10 times when I'm at that meeting. I'm just I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I think it's probably more common, and not just in our industry. I think it just in business in general, man. There's no preparation for this. They don't teach how to manage money in school. They don't, we just pick up sometimes our parents' bad habits or not, and then, I feel you on that one. The good of it is I
just don't want it. I just don't care to know. I don't want to know. Yeah. I know there's people listening to this who are oh, you own a business. You should fucking pay attention. I was I'm in this business to do the creative shit that I want to do. Yeah, this business makes money and that's cool. But I pay someone else to do that for me because it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it at all. I'm just you know what? Now I have more time to do the fun shit about this business that I want to do because I don't have to mess with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was one of the things that I learned in that BDA, or what they taught me. I was real stressed that I'd have to learn it all. I needed to do all this accounting myself. And the very first time I had that meeting with those two people, they just said it's kind of like an NBA all-star team. You just want to have a really good team. You just need to hire the right people and trust that what they're doing, what they're doing. We had been trying to we have hired accountants for the past 4 years, and none of them got our books in order. It was a bit of a clusterfuck. We've been audited twice by the state. The last one we just got through about 2 months ago. But finally, I'm paying this new accounting firm. I pay them a good chunk of money. But they are the bookkeeping side. They're doing the bookkeeping now. Before we had a bookkeeper, but they wouldn't communicate well with the accounting firm that did our taxes. And so just it was a shit show. But now I pay them to do everything. And Yeah. So next time we get audited, which it'll just be a matter of time, we should be good to go.
You got me thinking, both of you, that I think all three of us are owner operators, and we're a small business owner operators, and that we are present at our business basically from 8 to 5 or whenever our hours are, we're there. But there's a lot of people that own businesses that are never there, and so because you were saying, Dylan, like, oh, I don't know, people are going to give me shit because I own this business and I don't know everything about it. But I mean, there's people that
the thing of it is too, is like, we have had this discussion a ton of times, and like, you always give me shit for like the fact of like, I don't necessarily need to be here. Like
me?
No, I'm just saying, like, anybody we talk to, like, some people I could be like, oh yeah, I could go on a vacation for 3 weeks and just kind of have maybe minimal calls to the shop. And the reason is because I work on the business, not in the business. Like, I'm trying to basically put my strong suits where they need to be, and then hire people to do things that I suck at. And then what it really comes down to is what I would like to do is the creative and like the marketing and like getting bigger customers to come in here of things that I'm into or things I want to be dealing with. And then I hand them off to people. Like, after I get them in here and talk to them, I hand them off.
And I do the same thing. I guess what I was just observing or thinking about was that, I think my goal is to make it so that I'm not here as much. I mean, I think a lot of business owners' goal would be that, so that I don't have to be here every single moment that we're open. I mean, that's pretty rough. But I think the reality is that for a lot of people, not just shops, I guess shops of any size, that they can kind of get stuck in it. They get stuck in operations, or they're bootstrapping it and saying, shit, we're out, 2 press operators today and I got to jump on press, or, whatever it is. Like, oh, we don't have our production manager, I got to go make screens, because we are a small business and we don't have a whole lot of redundancy here. We don't have people that are just standing around waiting to fill in if somebody's gone or whatever. And so
the thing is you got to do what you got to do as an owner. Like, if you have to fill in or you have to do that, that's fine, but it shouldn't be all the time. It shouldn't be every single day. You shouldn't be tasked with like 5 jobs. You should be tasked with like what you're good at.
I think for us, I'm not sure how it was, is for you, but for us, we were on our way. I was on my way to being here less. And then the pandemic happened, and then we sort of had to start over in a lot of ways. And so we're climbing back out. We've hired almost 5. I wonder if it's 5. I think it's like 5 people in the past, I would say 4 to 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I have another one starting on Thursday. And so it's like, for the first time, like it feels a little better here. Like there's enough people.
First time in forever.
But I don't see anything wrong with that. In fact, I was reflecting this weekend because I had another birthday, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I need to be more like Dylan.
Right. That's usually what people say. Alan, how was it when COVID came through you? Did you have to like lay a bunch of people off?
So no, we tried to.
Well, you said you got PPP and all that stuff.
We did get PPP, and so we gave everybody all the money we could. For right when it first happened, for the first 2 weeks, I buried my head in the sand and played Battlefield 5 for about 8 hours a day and didn't call anybody.
Amazing.
Yeah, I didn't tell. I literally did not show up to work, and I didn't call anyone. And I just said I just played video games for 2 weeks. When I pulled my head out of the dirt, then we just met and tried to. We told people, if you need to apply for unemployment, do that. We'll help with whatever we can. We paid everybody their vacation pay that they had accumulated, and that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was rough. We just did whatever we could to hustle. So we were making T-shirts, COVID shirts, and bought a little sublimation printer and started doing masks. So yeah, I literally tried to do anything to just, get some money coming in.
Well, I saw you had a post on Instagram that said you were hiring. And this probably was a while back, but it was like inventory management, shipping, receiving, online order fulfillment, supply chain administration, customer service, invoicing, and payments. It's like It sounds like a lot, like an army that you need.
No, that's one person doing all that.
Oh, it definitely is. And we still don't have that person. I'm still waiting for that person to walk through the door.
I feel like that's a magic person. That's a wizard.
Yeah, that's somebody who can do all the fulfillment shit and make the front of the house talk to the back of the house. And I forgot that ad was still up.
Well,
Just
it's
leave
funny.
it up forever.
It's funny, like fulfillment for me has kind of been like we've dabbled in it for a long time, but like we're finally starting to really like push at it like over the last year and a half. And Megan, who does the like quality control and folding and bagging and stuff at the end of the dryer, like she kind of took it over, and I kind of handed it to her because, you know, an order would get done, printed, and I would just have her like fold and bag it, and then I'd be like, hey, here's like 300 packing slips, like go ahead and just bag these too. And like, but now she's like fully taking over fulfillment. Like she comes in the morning, she goes
Megan,
to
if you want a job, I'll pay you $5 more an hour. Megan?
I'll delete this shit.
True story. I just hired a Megan, and for the same position, the same role. How does Megan spell her name?
Meghan.
Yeah, Meghan.
Yeah, same. Yeah, the same way.
Okay,
so.
cool. I'm putting up.
It's actually my Megan.
Damn it!
Just put on an ad and be like searching for Megan.
That reminds me. One of my shop hacks that I'm going to spill the beans on early here is so we don't have the auto reclaim. That was something. Well, no, we're ordering a Cobra and a split belt dryer here this week actually.
Congrats.
But thanks. Yeah. And that was just a super blessing. I'll tell you about that later. But oh yeah. So I'm putting out an ad for a guy named Otto, and he can just fucking clean screens all day, dude. He'll be my auto screen reclaimer. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Otto, if you're out there, if you're listening, dude, please come over because I can't afford the real thing.
It'll be Otto, OTTO.
Yeah, like auto caps. Yeah,
right.
Auto screen reclaimer. I don't know an Otto, but if you're
out there, he's out there hanging out with Megan right now. But yeah, anyway, like Megan basically kind of like took over the thing, and like she helped me get organized, and we set up this room for fulfillment and like ordered custom boxes to fit the shelves, and she like perfectly organized everything, does it. I told her the other day, I was like, we're starting to do like so much fulfillment that it's like almost like she needs to be doing it all day long. I was like, I'm just going to have to hire somebody to do, you know, end of dryer, like, and you take over this department. And then eventually if we need more people, you're the boss. So it was kind of nice to be like, hey, hopefully this is going to be a new thing for you.
I love promoting from within, you know, because you already you see what they're good at,
right?
And you recognize that, you know, whether or not they're going to be good for that role or not, you know, right, without just taking a lot of risk, because you know how they are as an employee already. Are they responsible, or you know what I mean? Right. Like instead of guessing, complete guess on a new person, they come in because and also she's half trained. I mean, she already knows. Or maybe more than half even. She already knows all of the shirt styles and numbers and your shop and all that kind of stuff, you know? So she just...
Well, it was funny the other day, I got like 3 emails in a row, and it was an accident. Shit happens, whatever. I got like 3 emails in a row saying, hey, I ordered an extra large of this and I got a medium. And I told her, I brought Megan and I was like, hey, I think like maybe you accidentally grabbed like the medium stack instead of the extra large stack when you like ship these orders. And you could tell she was like, oh shit, like I feel bad. Cause it was like, you know, probably like a $20 item. I was just like, whatever, it's not that big a deal. Like the guys on press can fuck up a whole order that cost me like $1,000. You like fucking up like 3 shirts isn't that big a deal. But she just kind of was like, you could tell she was bumming or whatever. And then like right after that, I had her paycheck or whatever, like the payroll came in and I signed the check or whatever. And I was going to go hand it to her. So I went and talked to her about these orders. She was over in fulfillment area, like packing some stuff. And I was like, hey, I need to talk to you. And you could tell she was like, what? Like she was in trouble. And I like grabbed her paycheck and like slid it over to her. I was like, yeah, about those like messed up shirts or whatever. I could tell she was thinking I was like docking them from her paycheck. And I like slid her paycheck over. I was like, I gave you a raise. Thanks. And then I like turned around and walked away. And it was just funny because you could tell she thought that she was in trouble. And I was like, oh, hey, thanks. Like, I appreciate you. Here's a raise.
Nice.
Dylan, that is so the opposite of where I thought this story was going. You rewarded bad behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do here.
Okay. And you punish good behavior. Like if she would have, when she gets
I didn't
everything
give
right.
her a raise all of a sudden because of that. I'm just saying, like, she's been doing fantastic. And I was like, oh, I want to give her a raise. It just worked out to be at the time when she messed up a bunch of stuff. But I don't even know I don't even know how it happened. Like, I don't want to blame her because she'd probably listen to this. I don't want to blame her for that, but like, shit happens, like whatever.
Well,
and
she might not have even messed up. I mean, it could be the customer.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It could have been something
Nice.
stupid.
You know, so anyway,
So
that's a nice story.
Dylan,
You're a sweet
Go
man.
ahead, Alan.
yeah. Do you have any plans of getting any of the like packing, folding crazy machines, or are you there yet?
Yeah, I do want to get like what is it? The folder bagger, the M&R one.
Yeah.
My problem is that I'm fucking running out of space.
Oh yeah.
What we're planning on doing is we were going to do more construction on the building this year, but lumber prices went like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think next year, if things like level back out, that we're going to add like another 50 feet on the building. So if we do that, it'll work out nicely for like the flow of a shop is to right now where I have shipping and receiving on the end of the building, we have like bay doors on the end for that. I want to add the 50 feet. So I want to make that all like finishing, like tagging, bagging, folding, anything that has to do with finishing products so that, it goes from, print to back over there and then it can go right to shipping and receiving. So I feel like I'm trying to hold off until we get that part of the building done because right now those folder baggers take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And then you need like tables to put all the shirts on or carts to put all the shirts on to fold them and bag them and everything else. And it's just like, I don't have that space. And
You can get a smaller version,
Yeah, I just don't want to. Like I feel like if I'm going to spend the money and get what I want, I'm going to get what I want. Like I don't want to get some smaller version when I know in like a year or two, I'm going to have that space. I'm going to have what I want. So I was thinking about getting like Scott and Ron's folder to kind of help with speeding up like folding. But other than that, as far as bagging, I'm just going to hold off until we can get that full unit.
If you get an Otto reclaimer, he also knows how to fold.
Otto, yeah.
Multi-talented Otto.
Right.
Okay.
You just any automation you get, he's good at.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Yeah, we were actually talking about the other day. I went out to M&R. I don't know what it was, a couple of weeks ago now, 3 weeks or whatever, and I was looking at some presses, and I might be getting another Otto, a small one to replace my manual that kind of takes up the same footprint. So it'll be like a 2 or a 3 color press, but it'll be, just put the 1 to 2 to 3 color prints on that press only, or
Right.
like sleeves only or something, just to where like it takes pressure off the other 2 presses. So I might be doing that. And then I'm really fucked on space because I feel like if I get that, I'm going to have to get like a fusion dryer or something for over there. And then I'm really not going to have room for a folder bagger. So
Yeah.
that seems more important to me right now than half-assing something.
Right.
So
What about you, Andy? Are you guys doing a bit of fulfillment? I mean, I know you sort of are, or maybe are. Are you going to start?
Just getting ready to, so we've always ran, online stores, but it's always been a pre-order store.
Sure.
So, which are way different, I think so much easier to tackle that sort of thing than actually having shirts on a shelf that you're fulfilling. It's a whole different beast. And so we're getting ready for just a certain brand, a certain customer to try it. And I have a feeling that I'm going to regret all of it.
it's a lot of work. It really is. Like you kind of need, like I said, it's for me, I like to dive into a new branch of the company and kind of like figure it all out and then hand it off to somebody and be like, this is how this runs. This is how this works. I've kind of figured out most of the kinks, like shit's going to happen. But that's kind of what I've been doing over the past like 2-3 years is like just like figuring shit out and processes and what works. And now Megan's doing it and we're kind of teaming up on seeing what works and what doesn't. But I feel like realistically, if you're going to do it and go in hard, you need like a whole, like a department, basically. You need like people to contact the customer, or, you know, the people who you're running stores for and constantly be making new designs and staying on top of promoting it. And then even still, it's like the good ones that do it are making like their customers like mock-ups for social media and stuff, like promo flyers and stuff like that, because that customer isn't going to be doing it themselves. They're just going to be like, oh, make me a store. And then
certain ones, like you said, most customers will, you know, you'll do all of this work and come up with
they'll promote it once or twice. And then, right. That's what I'm saying. Like from my own personal thing, like some of the ones we're doing, there's a couple that like are on it and they sell a fuckload of stuff and it's awesome. But there's some that could sell a fuckload of stuff. They just don't have the bandwidth to like push it or make things to push it or whatever. So I was saying, if we can make like cool, you know, like squares or Instagram story things for them. And I'm just like, hey, here's some shit, like promote this when you can. They're more apt to do that, but they're not going to do that on their own. So that's why I said, I feel like you need at least like, even if you're going to go into it minimally, you need like 1 or 2 people specifically for the fulfillment department to just like do it.
How about you, Alan? You have a DTG machine, so you're a step ahead of Dylan and I anyway. If you're trying to do like an on-demand thing, like have you ever tried fulfilling with your DTG?
Yeah, we did. Pretty good following guy on Instagram. He would have, you know, just ridiculous designs, and we did it for a while. Also local artists, we did a thing for a while where we were printing their stuff and paying them like 25% royalty, so they get, you know, $5 out of 20, and they were happy about that. I'm kind of mixed about it. We had a DTG, we had an M-Link, the
M&R one.
M&R one, super expensive at the time anyway. I'm sure they're high now. It was a mixed bag. We were profitable on it pretty quickly, but we're in El Paso, Texas, not in Chicago. And so anytime anything went wrong, you know, it's a couple $1,000 to get somebody out. Plus the digital department at the time was like really young and there wasn't a lot of people that knew.
Well, the M-Link was their like introduction. Like it was their first thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think they make that anymore.
Yeah, probably not. I hope not. It's out in the warehouse. It's the heaviest paperweight I've ever paid for. But yeah, no, it allowed us to do some fulfillment like that. COVID happened and it actually crapped out right when COVID happened. And so we didn't have the DTG for a year. Recently, a few months ago, we bought the new Epson Industrial DTG, the F3070, because it touted as, you know, faster printing, less problems. They figured out a lot of the shit, easy to refill the inks. And so far so good. But yeah, it's what you guys talk about all the time. You know, sometimes it's hard. It's a balance, because to stay relevant and to, you know, at least in our town, 80% of the phone calls we get are people saying, I want 1, 2, 3, 5 shirts. So
you had a call for it. That's why you went DTG, is you have enough of those people to justify.
Yes. Yeah. We have quite a few. And now we're running, 100 shirt jobs or whatever on it. It is pretty fast. It's not without flaws or errors, you know. I mean, you got to dial it in just like anything else.
How are you pre-treating? Are you buying shirts already pre-treated? Or are you doing that there?
That was one of my $1 million ideas that somebody else took and made the pre-treated shirt. And it doesn't really work that well. District, sorry if you're listening. It's a cool shirt. It's a tri-blend. So it's really soft. And so it's badass that it works on there, but it's supposed to be I guess it's pre-treated. But if you just run it right on there, it's still a bit dull. So but then if you pre-treat it with one of those Schultz machines or whatever that sprays it, so we're still having to do that. And we don't have a dryer, like a gas dryer over there. So it's a press beforehand for a minute and a press after. So it is pretty labor intensive. It's not super efficient, but it does unlock that order fulfillment, on demand for the brands that have color all over their designs and don't want to have inventory. We can now say, cool, we'll do this for you. It's a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out how exactly to price everything. I've been, I've tried shopping around a bit and seeing how other people do it. And different people do it different ways. I'm going to just have like a hybrid method, because embroidery we do in-house also. And that's essentially on demand. And we've gotten back on Inksoft, just to do their online stores for customers. And that's easy enough, because somebody orders a cap and a polo, and we get it here next day from Sanmar, from Phoenix, and we embellish it and get it out. I'm still not sure how exactly to lay out the order fulfillment model. I just got a customer that some local dude that wrote a book that's now a major motion picture. We'll see how much stuff he sells, but I literally emailed other shops pretending to be dumb and just said, how does this work? And some help told me how they did it, and some didn't. And I'm just piecing it together a little bit.
Yeah. That Epson machine, using it for fulfillment, how does it feel? Like, what's the hand on it? Does it feel like a screen print? So if you were to actually, ship something out to somebody, they receive it, does it work?
It's really good as far as DTGs are concerned. Yes. We had a lot of practice on that M-Link, and the M-Link was better than the Epson at the time. And it's great. We're using it in our gift shop now for basically all our designs, because I still have inventory. I've still got 500 shirts out there from, the old shop when we had screen printed everything and just kept inventory in the back. So now I'm just doing everything. If we literally tell people in the gift store, hey, if you don't see your size, just let us know. We'll print it up real quick. And there was a little bit of pre-treatment on a couple of the colors that you could kind of see the square around it. And I was like, oh shit, not this again. Washed it, came right out. So they're pretty damn good. The colors hold. Hard to get the bright neons, but I think people are less picky than. Well, then also this is for most of the time for Yolanda's freaking third birthday. It's not. Yeah. It's not.
That's realistically the truth of it is that kind of hurts all of our printer feelings, is that the customer doesn't really care as much as we think they do.
They give no shits.
Right. It's realistically, I've seen it a million times, but I still can't in my heart accept it. Is that just we fucking nitpick things so hard and go extreme lengths to make sure things are perfect, and the customer just thinks it's just a rad looking shirt, and they don't care how it was made. They don't care about half the shit that we think about. It's just we need it to be a certain way.
I'm wondering when either Dylan or you, Andy, are going to get a digital squeegee, and then the conversation will be.
I'm thinking about it.
I don't know what the fuck I was waiting for, because you guys talk about the direct to screen, the CTS. Basically everybody you talk to that doesn't have one, it's dude, get that shit. You'll never look back. I think whenever one of you gets the digital squeegee, you're going to be I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. This thing is so much easier. I'm an idiot kind of thing.
Well, the funny thing is I specifically bought the G3 knowing that within the next 3 to 4 years, I would probably get a digital squeegee. That was the whole point. I'm just kind of waiting. It was the same with the iMages. I was waiting until it was basically standardized and they stopped doing all the updates. Like I can talk to you about that, kind of like video games. It's the same thing. Like a new game comes out and they do like update. And it's like when they stop doing updates every other day, then it's like, okay, it's time to buy this. This is fine. Right. So it's kind of how I felt with the digital squeegee. And I feel like it's pretty much getting to that point where it's kind of like, this is how it is. We like, even from hearing from M&R, they're like, yeah, like they're out in the field and like, we expected to, you know, at a certain point to have like issues or whatever. And they're like, most of them have like 0 issues. So they're like, and then I went and visited Second City Prints when I was in Chicago, and they have one and bought another one, and just talking to their production manager about like why they got it and, you know, how they feel about it. And he's like, same thing you said, like, we should have got this sooner. He's like, there's so many, you know, people nowadays that want to do big orders or make a store or whatever. And they're like, they just take a picture on their phone and they put like 5 Instagram filters on it. And then they're like, here's my artwork. And he's like, I can just put it on this, put 2 white screens up and print it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
so
fuck.
We established that there's a dude named Otto that can run the auto reclaim. He can also run the auto, or he can automatically bag. Do you think he can also digital squeegee?
Perhaps.
I mean,
yeah.
Because he sounds
with
like
Megan's help.
Right.
Because that'd be pretty sick. I saw what the noise is. You have a pen in your hand because you raised your arm a minute ago.
Yeah.
Throw it away. Get it away. So
hey, I've been doing this a long time and I have one too. So
is it clicking? Is it a clicking pen?
I was clicking. Andy, where'd you get that piñata squeegee?
I got it.
They were made for us.
Yeah, Dylan has
You
one
got
too.
one too? Oh, geez. Fuck. That's amazing.
From Flood Print.
Okay.
They were called, what were they called? They were called,
let me get this right. His name's Ian.
yeah, but they weren't called piñatas. It was,
They're called Printata.
Printadas. Yeah.
I don't know. But
So
It's a piñata.
I like them.
Yeah.
Flood Pole.
Yeah.
We're going to find this out. We got to get this right.
Dude, you know, like we're having this conversation where you're trying to figure out what this dude's name is. And that's like one of my fears right now is like, I'm horrible with names. Like I know people's faces or Instagram names. So like when we're going to go to like trade shows now that they're open again and we're going to talk to people, I'm going to be like, oh, you're like, and I'm just going to say like Instagram names and they're going to be like, my name's Steve. And I'm like, fucking no. Like when I put someone in my phone, I have to put the picture of their face in there so that when it comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, that's who that is.
I always put like a descriptor or, I
do that too. Like I'll put people I've known for years and I'll put like / this is how I know this person.
Yeah. There's a lot of piñata makers here in El Paso. We're on the border with Mexico. I can,
I got it.
nice.
It's Liam.
Imagine if it was Otto.
So from Flood Pole, yeah, wouldn't that have been a trip?
Like, no.
Yeah, his name's Liam Flattery. And we need to actually talk to this guy because I want to say he was in the printing industry, but he isn't anymore. And he had this thing that was almost like,
it's like education.
Yeah, it was, like not, what's and here I'm trying to remember another one, but what's not the screen printing memes, but like screen printing.
There's one called screen printers.
Screen printers. Yeah. Like that's what he was kind of like, he had a whole bunch of different stuff about screen printing,
Yeah. I see that piñata. That's cool.
But I have I
got to ask you though, Alan, do you have dreams where you wake up and there's a velociraptor in an airplane saying, Alan?
No, but I have really fucking crazy dreams.
It's like anytime I hear Alan, I immediately think of Jurassic Park where he was asleep on the plane and he looked over and the raptor was like, Alan. So I had to ask you.
Yeah.
You have, speaking of dreams, is it a nightmare or a dream living above your shop?
I'd say it's a dream because I'm disciplined about clocking out at 6. We're here from 9 to 6 with an hour break. I usually wake up at 7 or so, walk the dogs, and then I either come in here and just start, doing emails or whatever earlier than 9, or I go back upstairs, shower, and then come down. But yeah, right at 6 o'clock, it's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm done. I used to be really bad about that. I used to just be on the clock all the time. My first shop was in the back of a just sketchy alley, but I put a shower in there, and it was weird. But yeah, I just never clocked out. Like, it was midnight and people would be calling or texting about their shirts, and I just wouldn't know how to say no. Now it's super important to just 6 o'clock, get out of here. All you guys go home, and I'm the first one up there, just loading up the Xbox.
Well, it's funny. Like, we literally just got done talking about this with ML about how he had to move away because he didn't want to be so close to the shop, because he had that same fear of he would be in bed and be like, oh, did I leave the flash on? And leave the house, go check.
Yeah, you had a house across the street from his shop. Still does, I think.
Right. But then he said he would go in and be like, oh, it's not on, but I guess while I'm here, I can print a job. And then we were just
oh yeah,
always
I don't
be there doing something.
I don't do the printing anymore. I'm not, I enjoy not standing there and doing the physical stuff and paying somebody else to do it. So it's not a permanent thing, I hope, for us to be living here. And if my landlord's listening, I don't live here, dude. I'm just kidding. This is all a fucking joke. Totally kidding, dude. Yeah, Chuck, love you, man.
I have a question about your last lease, because I think a lot of people get in that situation where they want to move, to a bigger location, or maybe even a smaller one, but they have a lease that still has a year or two or whatever on it. Yeah. But isn't it that you can find somebody to sublease it, or that landlord, could? And so when you moved out, for example, if you found somebody, a month later, or they did, then it's over. You're released from the lease, and there's a new tenant. And so, but that obviously that didn't happen for you, I guess, because of the pandemic, or what's up?
We tried. Yeah, no, that's totally a thing. We even posted on our social media, hey, do you want $3,300, $3,315, and, lease our space, or find somebody to lease our space. We're willing to pay, a month just to get out of it. But it was, pandemic time, and who the hell's moving into places. So yeah, that was one of the reasons that we thought, okay, cool. If shit does go sour, we can always just sublease it. But we didn't really know what the market was going to be like.
Sure. And so you moved out, and you thought, well, how far away is it from your location now?
Luckily only 3 blocks.
Okay. So it was 3 blocks away, and you were going to have production where you're at now. And then the retail was going to be at your old shop. And so the lease is still going, or did you find another tenant? What's going on?
No. Yeah. So somebody else rented it. It's a guy that he has an axe throwing place. He moved in a couple years ago, a few doors down from us, and kind of talked him into finally renting that space too. And he's going to do.
So it worked out.
It worked out. Yeah.
Worked out.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. We could be on the hook for longer, but we're not.
I have Jonathan from Success. I have his question queued up, ready to go.
Do we just have endless Jonathan questions now?
Well, I have one more from him. We talked about it last week, that maybe he just should have the regular question, like Jonathan's question. They're all so good. But This week, his question is, what are some pillars in your business? What has stayed tried and true over all these years? If I guess, if anything, maybe there aren't any pillars in your business.
Right.
But if you have one, do you know of any?
Yeah. I mean, for me, well, 2 things. One is paying well, treating employees well. I'm of the camp too that I don't want to get rich on the shoulders of people just making a minimum wage and all that shit. So I've gone out of my way to and I'm maybe too much out of my way to try to take care of the people that work here. We used to pay everybody's insurance, like full coverage, for a while. So that wasn't sustainable. So we've had to scale that back a bit, but yeah, just really trying to pay living wages. You guys talk about it all the time. I'm the same way. It's no fun if I'm just, driving a Tesla and everybody else is sweating their asses off out there, doing all the work. So that's a pillar of that, I think. And then the other pillar would be, give back. Just get involved with your community somehow. And it's profitable to be of service. I mean, it's most people maybe don't be nice trying to get something in return, but just, be nice. We do a lot of community engagement shit. We had a mass shooting here a couple years ago. Was it already? Geez, a year or two. Terrible shit happened at a Walmart. But for a month, all we did was print El Paso Strong shirts, and we raised $160,000 that we were able to give the community foundation here. So just shit like that. We literally put everything on hold, and we were just cranking out those shirts for 2 months, really. And customers understood. They said, "Hey, no worries. You guys are, you're helping." We do free vegan cooking classes. We used to do those at the last shop. I was vegan at the time. I've since I'm not vegan anymore.
So wait a second. You did vegan cooking classes.
Yeah.
At your shop.
Yeah. It was
you
cool.
have a full kitchen or something?
No, we had hot plates and we had everything we needed. I'd go to online and buy it started out just like a group of friends, and we would all everybody, and it's a potluck too. So we would just kind of feast. But my old roommate is just an amazing cook, and he's vegan, and he can make vegan stuff taste better. I was meat and potatoes. I never ate vegetables ever in my life. And then just from one day to the next, I was like, okay, well, I could do this because it's just so good. But he would come, and he's just a really charismatic dude and a good teacher. And so, yeah, I think at the most we had 75 people at the shop on a Sunday, and at the class, and we wouldn't charge for that. We weren't making any money. We were, probably losing a little bit of money, but, stuff like that is people know that you care about the community, that you're trying to do shit.
Right.
So, yeah, just that, be of service, man.
That's cool.
Yeah. To fucking give away shirts when you can. We always wind up with hundreds of shirts in the shop that we just misorder or whatever. And so Pride comes around and just cool, put a little foil design on it, give them away. Whatever that looks like. So those would be, I guess, pillars.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Have either of you been a member of anything local wise? I was a member of our Rotary in our town for years. I actually got out of it, not because of what they were doing, but a couple people that were in there, I just didn't really want to be around anymore. But I feel like we were doing a ton of stuff. We would do all kinds of benefit things all the time, and giving a ton of money to food bank and all that stuff. I kind of wish I got back into it, but I'm kind of waiting for a couple people to exit first.
You can encourage them to exit.
Yeah, I could. Cut a couple brake lines.
Dylan, how about you? What do you have any tried and true?
I feel like a lot of it's kind of similar to Alan, but I mean, not the vegan thing. I can't. Yeah, I'm not doing that. But just, yeah, I mean, I feel like we've always kind of just been true to ourselves as far as who we are and how we are here and how the shop operates. And I try to do a lot of things with the people here, not just be a boss in an office. Or trying to, we go out on Thursdays and we grill and we hang out and we listen to music all day, and just kind of trying to make work work, like we're doing stuff, but also kind of like a home away from home. I try as much as I can. I know in the summer it's hard to say that when we got a shitload of stuff to do, but you know, I just try to make it a good place to be, and not like a cheesy place to be. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to make it a good place. I'm just trying to. This is just the way I want it to be, and everyone here is kind of happy with that. So, but other than that, it's always just been kind of like quality first, as far as like a pillar, I guess. So like if we see something that we know isn't right, like the motto basically is to just like scrap it, start over, and figure out how to do it right, or just stop the presses. Let's figure it out and get it dialed, and then continue, instead of just saying looks like shit, print it, and then send it to the customer. But other than that, it's pretty much it.
I think Alan, you know, like you nailed it. I wrote down two, but they weren't the one you said that I really liked. And that is, you know, take care of your team, because I always look at it like, you know, they don't work for me. I work for them. I want to support them, and I want them to really like working here. I want them to be paid more than fairly. So not just fair, not like 50-50, but more than fair. And you know, I want them to really like working here, because, you know, we're, like I said earlier, you know, we're a small business. I have to bootstrap it and go jump in and help out. And so do they. You know, they do the same thing. And it's not an easy day. I mean, we bust ass. And so I really appreciate everybody that works here. And if you do it, if you're like that, then you never have that problem of people leaving you, you know, for somewhere, for someplace else, you know, for more money, or a better work environment, all that stuff. And I don't know, I like coming in here and having a good day. I don't want to be, like you said, I don't want to be successful on the shoulders of others. I wrote down, I think that's the way you put it anyway, right?
Something like that, yeah.
You said something about a Tesla. That's
Yeah.
I do want a Tesla, though.
All I heard was I have a Tesla. Screw everybody else.
The two things I wrote were always chasing better. So that's kind of like what you said with quality. I always want to be better, as a person, as a company, as a screen printer, as everything. You know, HR department, doesn't matter. Like Shirkong, I always want to do better and be better, and ink better and print better. And
live Moss.
And then also make sure the customer has a good experience, you know, because I think that's a really important pillar. If you always keep in mind that the number one priority is just to make sure that they have a good experience with us, even when we fail or like we fuck up an order, you can still make it a great experience. And so yeah, those are the ones I thought of anyway.
Alan, what are you playing on right now? Are you an Xbox guy?
Yeah, just Xbox. I only play Battlefield. I don't
just Battlefield.
That's it. Yeah, I don't do any other games. Call of Duty, but yeah,
Battlefield is more realistic.
It is
more
yeah.
fun. Yeah,
and six is coming out here shortly, so my productivity is going to go down. But
I feel like I've played most of the Battlefields. What was the one? It was Bad Company that got me hooked originally.
I played 4, and then I played, I think, the one before that, but I don't remember the sequence. I know one came out after 4.
Was it Bad Company and then 3? I think, no, I could be wrong. But Bad Company, I just liked because I got into it and I liked like the way it felt. And then you could also like demolish buildings, which I thought was really rad. Yeah. But yeah, we were just watching the trailer, I think, for what you said. It was like 6 or something's coming out. And I was like, oh, yeah, that looks crazy.
It looks bananas. 128 players. Yeah. Andy, do you play any games or no?
Scrabble.
Mario Kart, basically.
What's that?
Just Mario Kart. Okay. So do you have any questions for us?
Yes, I do. I was supposed to have a little doll here, and I was going to say, show me on the doll where he touched you. I don't have a doll. My fiance didn't think that was funny. Hi, Ruby. All right. Top 3 things that you've learned on here that you've implemented into your shop, and not shop hacks, not like,
Oof.
all that kind of shit, but maybe not even top three, just something in the top three, like, because you guys have interviewed everybody, or you're starting to anyway. And so, like, what are a couple of or one or two of
Dude,
those?
there's honestly so many things that like I take from. I feel like my number one, and this is going to sound weird, but it's like just like confidence in the way we do things, because it's that thing like you were saying, like basically you hear other people's struggles and you hear like other people's like worries, concerns, and like how they got through things. Like that just makes me feel like I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? Like it makes me feel like I'm not like constantly like, oh fuck, I'm not that great at this, or I feel like I'm good at this, but I bet this other person does it better. And then you talk to that other person and they're like, yeah, man, like I did this other thing the other day and it really sucked. And then I had to like reprint that job, and you're just like, all right, like you feel better. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's
that, but there's also just like things that like with Reclaim, especially like with screens and like, talking to Andy and talking to Frank and just dialing in like our screens and everything has been something I've been doing a lot over the past year, like really trying to dial in the darkroom. Other than that, I mean, it's just a lot of like real little things. Like someone will say something and I'll be like, oh fuck, that makes total sense.
Right.
And I'll just like implement it here or there. But yeah, I mean, it's super fun to do. Like I love just like talking to you guys and hanging out with Andy every week. But like this is like something I really look forward to every week. It's just like doing this, and then Monday a new episode comes out, which for us is weird because we did it like a week or a week and a half ago, depending on the episode. Right. And then you get to hear everybody else like DMing us all day, being like, oh, I did that or whatever. Like it's fun to be able to continuously talk to people about it during the week. Cool. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I had all this time while he was talking to think of something or pick one, but I don't have a specific one. I've done so many, like a lot of shop hacks we've implemented. That's too easy though. I would say just maybe Dylan's right. Just talking it out every week and listening to other people's stories.
It's like therapy every week, basically.
Right. It is.
Screen printing therapy.
We should rename it.
We just talk about our feelings about printing.
Screen Printing Anonymous.
How did you feel when you burnt that shirt?
Exactly.
Do you know that on, what was it, Friday? I think Friday we tried Nate's put the shirt in the bucket. Yeah. I have video.
The funny thing, I saw that video and I just saw the grin on Kyle's face when he put it in the bucket and watched it spin.
Mm-hmm.
Did it work or not?
Yeah. I mean, it works.
I just listened to that when I was trying to get caught up.
I would say it's better on a manual. For one, you just need a few buckets. Maybe you have a 4-station manual, so you need 4 buckets instead of a dozen or whatever it is, And
For the people listening that don't know, it's when you're doing sleeves and you put the rest of the shirt in a bucket instead of throwing it over the pallet arm or dragging it on the floor. If you don't describe that, people are like, what is he talking about the buckets?
Shirts in a bucket? What's that?
Next question.
Okay, next question. Have you ever done psychedelics followed closely by, would you ever try ayahuasca?
Yeah, I'm on it right now.
Dude, you're handling it fucking amazingly.
Thank you. I listened to Rogan about, was it Rogan? Yeah, he had somebody, he's done that, right? So he went to South America or Central America or something like that.
I forget if he's done ayahuasca. He's done DMT and others, yeah. But I'm pretty sure he's done ayahuasca. He talks about it all the time.
What is it?
It's a medicine / the like strongest psychedelic known to man. They take it in the forest of the Amazon, and it's just like ego deflating craziness.
I don't feel like I could. Like I'm kind of a square when it comes to like smoking, drinking, anything like that. Like I've smoked weed, but like that's pretty much it. I don't really drink at all. Like I don't not drink. Like if I'm out with people and they want to have drinks, like I'll have a drink or two, but I'm not at all like, I don't drink beer. I don't do anything like that. but like hearing this kind of going back to Rogan or whatever, but he talks about that one thing where, what is it, like an isolation chamber or whatever, where like it's super like there's no sound.
Which like a float tank.
Float tank.
Yeah, it's like a float tank, right? Like you float there, but there's like it's like super sound deadened, and it's like people go crazy because like you can actually like there's no sound at all.
Well, I want to
try
sensory deprivation. Like all of your senses are gone. It's not just there's no sound, but you can't see. It's dark.
You can't see. You can't, and you're floating in like salty water, so you can't even feel your body.
I want to try that so bad.
It's not bad. It feels like a long, warm, wet nap. That's what it felt like for me.
I can take a long, warm, wet nap now.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Andy, would you ever, you think you would ever do ayahuasca?
I feel like
only if you can guarantee it wouldn't be a bad trip. Does anybody ever have a bad?
I would do it if I knew it was going to be a rad experience. My fear is I would do it and I'd be fucking terrified.
Well, you do it with a shaman. It's not something that it's not like a recreational drug that you do and then go to the club or anything like that. So yeah, but it's also not. It's also known to be difficult. It's not fun. So that could be considered like a bad. It's difficult.
Well, like when you come out on the other side, is that you're more open or awakened to something.
Yeah, you're
discovered something about yourself.
Yeah, you can dig into. It's like 1,000 hours of therapy in one night.
You figure out the meaning of life.
Pretty much. Yeah, you get to meet God if you believe in God. Okay, cool. Next question. And I know our markets are different, and people. It's weird to talk about money, but how much do you charge for 25 black tees with a one color front?
No one's ever asked us that, and I'm so glad you did.
And I always wonder. I'll tell you our price. It is Let me pull up this thing here. 25 shirts.
What kind of shirt?
Basic Gildan, 5,000. $917 per shirt. That's what we charge.
That sounds about right. I don't have my chart in front of me, but I might have it on my computer, on my laptop. Let me look. Hold on.
And I know it's totally different because you're in a different like market, and
How much did you say you charge?
$917.
We're at $9. So we're at $9, but of course, we're $7 print cost, $2 for the shirt. But you know that the shirts just went up basically. Right. So we just had a powwow about that last week. Like, I think we need to go to $250 on our shirts instead, because what's weird is the 8,000 and 2,000 are, I think, significantly more than the 5,000. And so anyway, we talked about being at $2.50, and then so we would add our 7, so we'd be at $9.50.
Cool.
You said 25 shirts?
Yeah, 25 one color.
Yeah, it's around 9.
Around 9. Yeah, cool.
How do we all end up in the same within like a few percent of one another?
Well, it's just a 25 one color. I feel like it'd be different if we were like, oh, what is 140 6 color front, 4 color back?
Tag,
dude. Like, I've honestly been like really talking to people about this kind of like behind the scenes. Hold on, I've got like windows open now. I'm lost. You guys are like a tiny window on my screen now.
We just raised our prices 10% because I've been getting email after email from our suppliers like, prices are going up on inks and everything. M&R's prices are going up the end of this coming week. So I'm really trying to pull the trigger on our equipment before that happens. My thing is just kind of like, I've done the research and the math to, like, people say like you shouldn't look at someone else's pricing and then just like do 5 cents cheaper or whatever, because that's just the race to the bottom. You know what I mean?
Because Alan's in El Paso, you're in New York, I'm in St. Louis, and we have
but that's what I'm saying is there's the factors of like, what do you actually need to make money on this job? Like, what do you need to keep your shop open every day? You should know that. And then you should do the math and like figure out like what you should actually charge for these things. Well, that's the thing is like, I'm in a different boat than, like you said, you or Andy or whatever, because I don't have I have like little to no overhead. Like, I don't need a lot to keep this place open. So like, I could charge a lot less But then you get into the thing of like, all right, well, I go as high as I can on like the best inks and the best equipment and, you know, paying your people really well and all this other stuff. And it's like, what pisses me off is when there's places like Custom Ink that this is why I'm talking about this now, is because if you look at Custom Ink's pricing, they're fucking charging more than we make.
Yeah.
And those are the people that are just like going on Google and being like, I need t-shirts, and they're going to Custom Ink. And I know for a fact Custom Ink is fucking just like going to the bottom of the barrel, like person that's willing to take the scraps that they're sending them.
Custom Ink prints a lot of their own stuff. They have 3 plants, but Custom Ink prints all of the easy stuff.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is they're going to someone in like New York and they're like, okay, here's my pricing, take it or leave it. And some people are like, yeah, I'm not saying it's bad to take that stuff. I'm just saying some people are like, okay, I'm okay making that money on that job. And it's like I said, like here we're trying to do things as best as humanly possible, and they're making more money than we are. So that's why I'm kind of like, should I charge more to just make more, even though I don't need it, but like the company will make more money? Or do I just stay where I'm at? And then I'm like, you know, on that same job, we said $9, Custom Ink might be 11. Like,
yeah.
Do we look at that and go, okay, well, maybe we should be doing 10 or 1050 or 11? Like, what do we?
Nah, I never look at what anybody else. If we're losing, you know, a lot of bids, I think that, sorry, I was getting a call, trying to turn this off. If we lose a lot of, you know, quotes, then I may become concerned, like, wait, is our pricing
right? But I'm not
high?
doing,
like, what's
I'm not
going
doing
on?
any bidding. I'm just saying, like, I don't ever have people like complain about our pricing. You know what I mean? Like someone will come to us and I'm like, here's the invoice. Like, all right, cool. And they pay it. Like,
oh, well, but you know, Alan, are you a custom screen printer? You know what I mean? Or do you work for brands like Dylan?
Custom. I'm more like you, Andy. We do schools and colleges and you know, just random shit.
Right. You know, I have people every day complain. I shouldn't say complain, but try and negotiate pricing, but we don't
never.
budge. Like,
I rarely have it. That's what I'm saying is like, I know I'm making enough to be profitable and make money, but like, should I be charging more? And that's where I'm kind of stuck. I was like,
do you want a Tesla?
Well, that's the thing is like, I could make more and just be like, yeah, we make more money, which I probably should. I just don't know. Like, I'm not.
You need to call like you said, you're not the business guy. You need to call your accountant and say, should we charge more?
Yeah.
I'm just legitimately, I don't know if I should charge more. Like, I feel like I definitely could, but I don't want to be that guy either. That's just like, you know, there's a lot of customers we've had for a lot of years. I don't want to go to them and be like, hey, our pricing now is like $2 more than it was before.
Here's what we do. We price fix. We call every screen printer in the company. We all raise our prices $5. And we all agree to do it. It's not illegal or anything. And then we all, instead of at $9 a shirt, we make 14. Boom, done. Then we all get Teslas. All right.
Super. Yeah.
Figured it out for us. You're welcome.
Cool. Yep.
Next question.
Next question. You're a small shop with one auto. In what order do you upgrade your equipment? Because I know you guys always say CTS, you know, auto coder, reclaim, you know, all this automation kind of stuff. But like, what would be the order that you would suggest?
So you have one auto and that's it.
You only have the auto, yeah, maybe a manual or something. What equipment? What's the next purchase? Is it the CTS?
What about employees?
It could be an employee, yeah. Let's just say that you're not busting at the seams, but you're not doing it all yourself. You have a couple employees helping you, but okay. You're either going to invest in some equipment. Is it a second auto or is it a CTS?
I don't know. I mean, my answer is wherever it's most painful. Like, where is your bottleneck? Is it that you're trying to run that auto and manual on a small dryer and it's slowing you down? Then I would get a dryer. You know, that would optimize my auto / manual. You know, like, what's slowing you down? Is it that you're spending way too much time in your screen room? You know, well, then you got to look at that. So I think it's a tough question without being in that, like, the other trenches.
the other part of it is like when I look at stuff, I also look, like Andy said, like what's the bottleneck, but I also look at like what can I upgrade? Like even if I don't need it, I look at like what can I upgrade to reduce variables. So like for me, like the autocoder and some of the other things like that, it's less shit to go wrong with screens. So like if you look at screens, you could be like, okay, today's screens look great, but then tomorrow's screens, the guy might have like not slept well and he coded them fucking janky or like whatever. It's like that's a variable. It's like you can't control those variables from day to day to day to day. It's like, so the autocoder was like, okay, you fucking pour a bucket into 2 troughs and you hit the green button. And like as long as you have your EOM where it needs to be, generally every day, you're like, okay, put the recipe in, hit the green button. All your screens should be uniform. Every single one should be coded the exact same. So it's like, for me, that's like what I look at is I'm like, how do I get things as dumbed down as possible so that I have less issues? Like if me as an owner, I look at things of like, how many times do I have employees coming in here and being like, this is fucking broken or this doesn't work. Come help me with this. And it's like, if I get things down to as like this dumbed down as possible to where they can just go through their day and like kind of like float, you know, they know technical aspects, but it's a lot of it's just kind of like, you know, everything I need is on this mock-up form, you know, everything I need to know about screens. Like we were talking about this in pregame, but it's kind of like, you know, Brian puts in all the artwork files when they go to the CTS, he puts like what screen mesh it's got to go on. Like there's an 8-color job. These ones are 230s. These ones are 156. These ones are 140s. It's like, so the screen guy's just got to be like, oh, 140, put it in the machine, hit the button. Right. It's just like, I
had somebody message us the other day and they asked, what should I buy next? Autocoder or CTS? And I needed to qualify that. So I was like, well, do you have an auto yet? And they said no. And then my answer was neither. You know, don't buy a autocoder and a CTS before you have an auto I think maybe they had space issues or something, but I was like, why would you? I think that it just seemed like anyway, the autocoder wasn't the next move. My next move, if I had a manual, would just be to get an auto. I mean, you literally, it's a complete game changer, you know? So, I mean, you were able to then preserve your hands and your arms and just physically, you can print 6 colors at once if you want to and haul ass through a job, you know? And so that I'm not saying get rid of your manual. I'm just saying, you're right. So my point is that there is an order to things, you know, like don't put the cart before the horse. I wouldn't go get an autocoder before I got automatic, but I guess unless, you know, they're coding, you know, 1,000 screens a day or they want to, like Dylan said, or they're going for some special perfect quality, you know, about an autocoder, but a consistency, you know, maybe it would make sense, but I would for sure. That's a tough question. I think a lot of people struggle with like, what next? Like, what's my next piece of equipment?
I think it kind of goes back to when we were talking earlier about just like working on what you're good at too. So like if we had this discussion with, what was it, Hanson, where he kind of does it all. You know what I mean? He goes in the shop and he does the emails and the artwork steps, and then he hops on press. And then when somebody shows up at the door, he has to stop on press, go to the door, talk to the person. It's like, for me, it took me years to get this too, where I was kind of like micromanaging, or I was like in all these things. It's like one of the biggest things for me, other than like CTS or whatever, was to hire an assistant or somebody to help with customer service. It's like, as soon as I got out of the day-to-day emails of like quoting and all this other stuff, like I had so much more time and energy to like focus on other things that needed to happen in the shop.
Right.
So to me, that was like a number one, was like get customer service dialed. And that's the thing we talk about all the time on the show too, is we should be customer service companies that, you know, printing is just like an afterthought. It's like we just take what does the customer need, and then we produce it. So like I feel like if you have your customer service dialed to where like someone emails you and they get a response within an hour, then like, okay, that part's figured. Like then how do we produce these things, or get an auto, or get a coder, or whatever else we need?
Yeah, when we automated our screen room, we knew we wanted a third press, but we knew that unless we automated our screen room first, that we weren't going to be able to scale properly. You know, we wouldn't be able to keep up making screens for 3 autos for that kind of setup with the current screen room. So we had to first automate our screen room, and so we were able to then add a 3rd press or even a 4th if we want. It just depends, I guess, what your goals are. And so really, I mean, I think we could go on and on and on.
That was a really long question. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Okay, cool. Let's see. How do you time track your jobs, or specifically, do you collect data? How do you know how to freaking schedule your shit for the next?
Call up Tyler.
Yeah, I know. But how do you guys do it? I mean, I know from running a press that, if it was a four station press, that I can do about a shirt an hour if it's got a flash, so 60 shirts an hour, and then also I know how many shirts an hour our auto does and all that. But do you guys track that data and then use it to block out your schedule and know how many jobs you can take, so that if somebody does come in and go, hey dude, I need these shirts, but tomorrow 100 shirt, you can safely say, no, we can't do it, or yes, we can. How do you guys do that?
Do you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
Yeah, you take this one.
I don't really. I mean, it sucks. I probably should know that, but I also feel like we're not doing cookie cutter stuff either. We don't have a lot of people that are just hey, I need a 1, 2, 3 color front, and that's it. I feel like most of the jobs we're doing nowadays are 9, 10, 12 color process prints. I feel like that's what we're doing a shitload of. And you can never, I mean, I could try to predict how the day is going to go, but I'd never know. We might put a job on press and then we find out something was wrong with one of the colors, or it didn't look right, or we have to reburn. And then, we do everything humanly possible to make sure setup goes super fast, with CTS and tri-sync and all this other stuff. We can set jobs up in minutes. That's not the problem. It's actually running it, being okay, well, where are we placing our flashes, and how do we get this to look right? For years, pretty much we've just kind of gotten the flow of I do the schedule. So I'll look at the week and be okay, I'll give Randy this job on Monday. So he might have 10 to 12 jobs on Monday. And then Zach will have, 8 jobs or 10 jobs or whatever it is. And then I'll know that if it goes flawlessly, if they walk in and they're in a good mood and they're ready to print, they could probably accomplish what I put on the schedule that day. But the problem is shit happens, and shit always happens. And it's not their fault. It's just unforeseen things happen. The power goes out, the fucking power goes out here all the time. So I can't justify for that. So what we're doing is we're trying to basically stay, a week ahead on turnaround or whatever. So that what if I put 10 jobs on his schedule and he only did 8, those other 2 carry over to the next day. So when I make the schedule, I try to fill up, Monday through Thursday or Monday through Wednesday. And then Thursday, I'll put half as many jobs. And then on Friday, I'll make it to where there's no jobs on Friday. So that way, by the time we get to Friday, the things that carried over the day and then the next day and whatever on Friday, it's a full day again. I don't know if that's a smart way to do it, but that's the way that works for us, because like I said, it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's every job's a custom job, and every job takes thinking and figuring out. So for me, that's kind of been the easiest way. I feel like I could collect all the data I wanted, but then I would look at a job and be I feel like this should turn out and we should be able to do this in 63 minutes. And it's fucking one little thing happens, a fly comes in and fucking crashes through the screen and explodes the mesh, and we have to reburn. It's well, there goes your fucking 63 minutes.
Yeah,
you never know.
Yep.
Alan, how do you do it?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
He asked us the question, Andy.
Yeah, same shit. No, we just we ballpark it. We say 2 weeks, and then we fucking get it done. If we have to stay late, we stay late.
Perfect answer, Alan.
Yeah.
Andy, what's your secret sauce?
I don't think we have one either. I think that, like you said, it's pretty tough to. We've tried a few times. We tried to make a formula that would say, okay, just like you said earlier, 25 one color shirts, how long does that take? You know, we tried to come up with a formula so that it would automatically tell us, okay, well, you plug in, you throw all these jobs on in a spreadsheet, and that equals 8 hours, right? And you can move them around so that, let's just say, so you try and fit everything in. So if somebody calls, like you said, and they say, can we squeeze this in? You know, if you can or can't. However, I would always say that not every single one of our dates is firm. And so we always, if something's firm, we put it in Monday. We've been on a Monday share screen before, screen share, you and I. And when you look at our Monday, we flag things as firm. And if it doesn't say firm on it, then it's not firm. So I always know that I can move a few around so that if somebody calls, it's hard to turn away like a sweet order, right? Hey, I need 200 shirts, a couple colors. You don't want to say no to that. And so you fit it in and you move a job that you had on that day down the line because it's not firm, the ones you can anyway. And so I don't know. I think that it just comes from experience. We look at the jobs. We don't have any scientific, we don't have it figured out. And, but we stay enough ahead so that it's never really a problem.
Right. That's the goal.
But we are pretty maxed out, you know, so it's not like we have a whole lot of wiggle room. We can just say, oh, you know, willy-nilly.
We have a saying here that anything's possible if you're willing to stay late. So anytime anybody asks us anything, it's like, yeah, anything's possible if you're willing to work late.
You're willing to pay for it.
Right.
You know, if stuff goes and stuff inevitably goes wrong on press, like you said, whether it's
there's a million things that can go wrong,
or we engineered the art wrong or whatever. And so there's those things. There's hiccups in the day, but I wouldn't say it. You know, it really affects there's certain days, I suppose, that we lose an hour, and that sucks, you know, because that's an expensive hour, right? And we just had a discussion on Friday, like how we can get better at that kind of stuff. And we went pretty deep, and what we realized is that it's an incredibly complicated problem,
yeah.
You know, which would probably require hiring somebody to collect all that data, find out your points in the shop where it's costing you the most time, you know, because we found out a few years ago that it wasn't our print speed, like our, you know, piece per hour output that was ever the problem. It was the setup teardowns. And so we figured like if we improved our setup teardowns, specifically our setups, that we'd blaze through the day. And it was right. I mean, that was a big, big part of it. And so it changed everything. We're so efficient now. We're so fast at stuff. It's pretty awesome.
The other part of that too is the same thing. Like we invested heavily in setups and teardowns kind of thing. But like the other part of it too is like if you buy a bigger press, then it's less spins, less revolutions. It's like, so get a bigger 100%. Press with more flashes, and then you can do every job in one spin. And it's like that gives you so much more time in the day than if you're looking at a job, you're like, oh, this is gonna be 4 spins or 3 spins or whatever. It's like, well, that job just takes 4 times longer than it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have the right answer for this question.
Either. So somebody, if you have
the perfect epic formula for this,
if you work for Google and you came up with the metrics or what would you call it? The code.
Right. Call Otto.
Otto. There you go.
He knows.
Tyler. We keep going to Tyler this, but he doesn't fucking come through, right? He hasn't done shit for us.
I wouldn't say that. Tyler calls me all the time. And we were talking about something the other day or whatever. And he was like, I collected data on that for like a year. I was like, you fucking would.
He didn't collect any data for me.
Maybe he's just a hoarder.
We're waiting. We're waiting.
I think he's just a hoarder. Yeah.
Hoarder of data. Okay. I think last question here. Well, 2 more. How are you dealing with celebrity status? Most memorable fan moment?
What's the celebrity status?
Like my most memorable fan moment was when I was in Chicago and Stevens from Campus Inc., his dog, was super stoked to see me. And I have a new best friend.
Very good.
Besides Dylan. Sorry.
Dylan,
Yeah.
any fanboy, fangirl moments yet?
My favorite thing is when people send us stuff.
Oh, cool.
Like stuff that like we get letters in the mail or whatever that's just like they listen to the show, or like shit behind me. Like I'm not saying this is like celebrity stuff, but it's just cool. Like when people fucking make shit and send it to us, it's awesome. Like this fucking super rad rug. Look at that thing.
yeah.
And then just like I don't
From
know,
Sean?
like, yeah, just like
From
the
Delaware?
fucking
The
Hank Hill ass. That's amazing. I don't know. I got a ton of stuff over here that's like letters and stuff. Like it's just cool to hear. Like you were saying earlier, like you were kind of going through a thing. Like me and Andy aren't trying to be like anything other than two dudes just fucking bullshitting about stuff. But like for you to actually get stuff from it to like help you grow is fucking super awesome. Like to us, it's just like rad as fuck. Like we could be talking to each other after this and be like, oh man, I don't know if we want to do this anymore. Like we're just kind of spinning our wheels, and then you could say something like that, and we're like, all right, 200 more episodes. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, it's cool. Plus, we both just love talking to people, so like that's why we're both like really excited for trade shows again. Is to just like go and hang out with people that, you know, it's fun to do Zoom, but it'd be really rad if we were sitting in your place right now, just like drawing dicks on your magic board or whatever the hell it's called.
I think once you go to trade shows is when you'll see some of that fangirl stuff. It'll be funny. Okay, and then I think, have you ever, when I listen to Shirt Show on Spotify and YouTube now, I've fast forwarded it to 1.75 speed just because I try to get through it faster. I get more show for my
Really?
buck.
That's a thing?
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
What do we sound like?
I mean, it's not really chipmunks, but it's pretty audible because you guys speak kind of slowly and clearly anyway. Some of your guests, it's fucking impossible to, like the Irish guy, or where was he from? Ireland? Yeah, that dude.
Maybe you're talking about Danny. He's from
Danny's
England.
hard to hear at slow speed.
Dude, yeah. But anyway, right before the podcast,
We love Danny so much.
I saw that you could put it down to 0.5 speed, and you guys have to hear yourselves just like, yeah.
Ready?
Go ahead, play it. This is at what, 1.5?
No. Do the slow one.
Did you get that? I did, yeah. Okay. You see? Oh, it's a recorder, yeah. Isn't that neat? It's pretty neat. Yeah. Brings back the old times for you. Yes. You probably have never seen one of those. Mm-mm. So how have you been, man? It's been a while. I know. I feel like I haven't seen you forever. We talked, but I haven't seen your beautiful face. I know. I got it.
Slow down.
Yeah, do the slow one.
Put it at 0.5. It's amazing.
I want to hear. I haven't seen your beautiful face. It's slow.
I miss you so hard right now. Yeah. No, I mean, last week was.
Dude, I love that you did it when I love you so hard right now.
And I had a normal weekend, and then I went to Chicago all week.
It sounds like
That's like a 6-hour episode.
Amazing.
sounds like you're on ayahuasca or whatever that shit is.
I really want to listen back to a whole episode.
It's fucking hilarious, dude. I was cracking up before this. So 0.5 is better than 1.75, but
definitely better.
No, that's it. That's it for my questions.
Oh God,
There's some good ones.
that's so good. I love you so hard right now. Oh, I sound like an asshole.
Dude, amazing.
If I had any street cred, it's gone now. So what do we got now? Is it shop hacks? I don't know how this fucking show works.
I think it's that time. We need to cue the music for shop hacks.
That's what we need. You told me forever ago that you had this like pad where you could like hit things.
I know. That's all me. It's coming.
Shop hacks.
Yeah, we need like a button where you can hit it and it just like tells us what to do.
Right.
Okay. Shop hacks. Let's see. I have 2 embroidery ones for anybody that has embroidery in their shop. One is just an embroidery, so when you're changing out threads, normally you got to tie them off. Well, there's a special way that you can tie them off that when you pull the new thread through, it just pulls all the way out the needle. And it's a cool little like triangle gizmo. I didn't think of far enough I should have had the thread here with me, but
show us with your hands.
Yeah, where the doll touched you. So if this is one of the threads, you make like a peace sign basically, and you put it. I can't. This is the worst shop hack ever. If anybody wants to know, just let me know, and I'll explain it to you. But it makes changing threads like fucking fast. Normally they break or you have to like re-thread the needle and do all this bullshit. This way you just pull it through and it's like new colors done. So, and I learned that from a guy at ISS, Steve, I think. So it's not original, but
Thanks,
it's a good hack. Yeah. He'll tell you how to do it. Another embroidery one is, when you're doing multiple names, like, left chest names, you can just stack the names over each other in the embroidery file. So let's say you have, Doug, Bill, blah, 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 whatever. You just make them different colors. And when you go to the machine to embroider, you just put a stop at the end of it.
Oh, that's smart.
So it does, Bill in white, then the machine stops, and then you start head 2, and it does Mark and in whatever color you program it to do. So you don't have to sit there programming 10, left chest names. Mm-hmm. There's a guy named Otto, apparently, that fucking he's the bomb, and he's worth every penny. Corel Draw. If you use Corel Draw, there's a add-on.
You're a dinosaur.
You're a dinosaur and an asshole, and everybody hates you. And there's an add-on called Simple Seps, like separations, and it's game changing. Even so, it just basically creates a choked underbase, like one click. It makes it really, really easy to do separations. You get it from advancedartist.com or something like that. Some dude named Tom that makes it. I have shown it to people that use Illustrator to do their seps, and some, they just laugh at Corel, but others incorporate it in there, and it really makes doing your separations super easy. The other one was, two more. One is Google reviews. If you don't have Google reviews, if you want to get fucking business, like when I go anywhere, if I want to go to a restaurant, I look on reviews, and the better the reviews, the more reviews and the better, obviously, the more business they get. I did a thing where I would give I'd give anybody a sticker, like, hey man, you want a free sticker? Like, just cool, leave us a review real quick. And, for the cost at the time of, 30 cents, we're up to like maybe 500 reviews now. But like anybody in this area that types in screen printing shop or custom t-shirt, boom, we're way the hell up there. Are you doing this like through email? No, we did a little campaign like that once. It was, people, I don't like clicking on people's emails, leaving them reviews and shit like that. But if somebody like straight up bribes me with a sticker, like while they're sitting in front of me, I would, and it's not a bribe. So
you're saying like people who are coming to the shop, you're like, hey, you can take a sticker if you leave us a review.
Yeah.
They're coming to pick up their order or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
No. It's
you have some
awesome.
pickups, right? Yeah. I think you have.
Oh, that's true. Or you could put in something in the. Well,
that's what I was wondering is if like I sent like a follow-up email.
Oh, but you could even
said,
make it funny.
Hey, we'll send you a sticker if you send us a thing.
Well, that would cost you more shipping. You could just preemptively put a sticker in your box and on the back of it write, "This is a bribe to leave us a review," or some dumb shit like that, and just make it funny. And I bet you would get a lot of people to do it. But if you want more business, get your Google reviews up. And then the last shop hack is test tees. They sell apparently. I had no fucking idea. I partnered up with Matthew and Mina. They have to do our gift shop. I'm teaming up with somebody that's doing retail already, and they're really good at what they do. All our tester shirts they were walking out in the warehouse one day and they're like, "What are these?" And I was like, "Oh, they're just rags. You know, we just cut them up." And they're like, "Dude, we could sell the shit out of these things at our shop." And I was like, "What are you fucking kidding me?" And sure enough, we opened up our gift shop and we have like a rack of, I don't know, 10 of them. We don't have like licensed trademark shit on there, but it's just, you know, mom and pop little taco shop here with an artist, you know, test printed next to it or, you know, whatever. And we're selling the crap out of them.
That's crazy.
It's bananas, dude. Yeah. But people really like kids nowadays. It's like you tell them it's like unique, one of a kind. Some of them are even printed like on the inside of the shirt. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, who would want that? But these like people that are seeing them are like, oh, that's so fucking badass. Look, oh, it's got that. Ooh, it's got that. Crazy shit. But you guys do so much cool art. I'm toying with, I should probably have a disclaimer somewhere and let our customers know, like, hey, you know, your design
might end up on this.
Yeah, on a tester tee, but I don't think anybody would really care if it's not trademarked or anything. But yeah, dude, we're selling them for $15 a pop, and people are buying them. So
most of our shirts are test tubes. You know, they're not actual shirt, like a sewn. They don't have sleeves on them. You know, and a collar.
Yeah,
and all
they're
that
just
kind
tubes.
of stuff. Yeah, they're just tubes. The tester shirts we do have are like blemished. You know, maybe they had a hole or misprint or something like that. So, but I have a feeling that if it was a misprint, they wouldn't care. You know, it would almost be a good thing.
Yeah. That makes me feel bad because we just fuck up a lot of shirts.
No, I'm with you. Like we have a huge, like, it's not huge, but like it's a large tote, and basically it's always full of like fucked up shirts. Like, again, like there could be a shirt with a hole in it. There could be something where we ran out of ink or just something happened basically. And then those shirts end up in the test bin, and then you can pretty much print on that shirt, like, you know, 15 times or something. Like you said, we can print on the outside, we can turn it inside out, print on the inside. And then pretty much once it's printed all the way, we're using that to wipe like ink spatulas and squeegees, and then we throw it in the garbage.
Yeah.
But
might be a cool way for a shop to, like, if you're not trying to make money at it, you could, you know, it'll be like the fundraiser for the shop to go out and do something fun, you know? And, but it's weird how they sell. We used to happen with posters too. We would,
posters I feel like would be cool.
Posters, it's crazy, man. People want the misprints, the testers more than they want the original. Yeah. And so it's, we've been selling test keys, and, it's been going well.
Nice.
Guys, I just wanted to say that I'm in Missouri. That's it.
And nobody in Missouri wants that?
No, I said that same thing last week, but we're in Missouri. Thunder. Yeah, right now it's about for 3 days in a row, nights in a row. It is so bad.
It's doing the exact same thing here right now. Literally for like the last 2 weeks, we've had a thunderstorm every single day.
It's pretty nuts. Like, it is so dark over there right now. And
that's why when he said that he had a fucking print shop on his back deck, I was like, that would last me a day.
Right.
Like, it'd be an afternoon and I would have to cart it all back inside.
Yeah.
No, not here.
Bright and sunny out here.
Rub it in.
So we got quick takes. Dylan, you have your phone with you? It's the same.
Question 1. What is the meaning of life?
False.
All right.
Correct.
Question 2. What is one thing you need every morning?
To take a shit.
Amen, brother.
Question 3.
Andy, question 2.
Best recent read, listen, or watch?
I knew you guys were going to ask me this, and I was going to start reading the Bible.
Watch.
Yeah, I mean, the trailer for Battlefield 6, I'd have to say it's fucking amazing. No, I started reading that Profit First because you guys mentioned it in like one of the first episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Get all the way through it, but good to start thinking that way.
That one's a good listen to. Was it Mike Michalowicz?
Mm-hmm.
He's a really animated human being. So like for me, listening to it was good because he was like very into it.
Yeah, I saw him at Print Hustlers 2019, and he's like a stand-up comic.
Yeah, he's like very
hilarious.
weird all over the guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, with Profit First though, like I listened to it and I took a lot from it, and that actually really helped me out money wise, because like we were talking about earlier, I'm not that great with it. I didn't do the whole like whatever 10 bank accounts or whatever it is that you're supposed to get.
Yeah.
I just more did the, pay for everything that day, and then whatever I have left is my profit, I guess.
Right.
But that really, like, honestly helped me out a shitload. So
Dylan did profit last.
I did profit last. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll write a new book and we'll be all good.
What is the next question?
I got it.
I almost started saying it.
That was a question.
What is your next question? What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Oh fuck!
I feel like you could go deep on this one from
I know,
what it sounded like your 20s were.
Yeah, take meds, dude. Like it's not that bad. Like take some sort of fucking antidepressant. You're not going to be a zombie. It'll help you. You'll be way less impulsive, and you'll have a better life.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
What would you be doing if you weren't printing t-shirts?
I would be an artist's agent, I think. A lot of my
What kind of artist? You mean like musical artist?
No, like painters and stuff like that. They usually don't know how to sell their shit and get it seen. And I feel like I'm sure there is somebody who does that. Yeah, like on a big scale. But I would be doing that. I'd be representing.
Isn't that so true? That is so true. Like my wife, Joanne, for example, she's really talented artist, but
plug your page. We're already talking about it.
The hardest thing for her, but on Instagram, yeah, Joanne Hool Art. I almost didn't know.
Go there and buy some stuff.
You talking about for Instagram?
Yeah, or her Etsy.
Yeah, go to Joanne Hool, but and it's Houle. But she struggles with that exact same thing, like how to actually market it. Where to distribute it and how to sell it. Yeah. Because, like you said, a lot of artists like they want to focus on art, and not the business part of it, not the business side of it.
Yeah.
Joanne made me this rad me Sasquatch drinking iced tea.
Nice.
That's right behind me.
Oh yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, I'll get it. Hold on, I gotta open my phone every time. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Meth? No, I'm just kidding.
That's the best answer so far.
Yep. Nope. Stop. Next question.
We don't want to know. We don't want to know.
I don't even care. I don't even care.
Okay. Next.
Next question is, what's for dinner tonight?
Not meth. Fuck, I don't know, dude. Probably some refrigerated ramen from Costco.
All right.
Yeah.
What's like the main like baller food in El Paso? Like, what are they known for food wise?
I mean, it's right on the border with Mexico, so it's crazy Mexican food. Really good Mexican food. Tacos, burritos, chalupas, you name it.
So not a ton of Italian food there.
There's Italian restaurants, but yeah, but not heavy in the Italian scene. There, we get a little ethnic, but not crazy.
All right.
What are you guys eating?
I think it might be the same thing as last time I said. Maybe a little different. I bought some corn on the cob, and that's all we're having.
Corn on the cob for dinner? Sounds great.
Just a bunch, like 10 ears, of it.
Mm-hmm. The difference between me and you is you would say corn on the cob, and I would say street corn, because I would need to cover it in cheese and everything else.
Chili.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where did he go? Oh, you have it with you.
Hold on. My headphones went out.
While we're here, shuck the whole thing.
I'm going to show you a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Shuck that corn.
Why don't they call it
Keep going. Finish it off.
Wow.
I want it on video.
All right.
You got to ask your question before we go through this whole thing, because it basically is your question.
I did. What's for I have dinner? To answer it?
Yeah.
Corn.
You're just having corn.
Oh, yeah. With some sandwiches.
Peanut butter sandwich and corn.
We're having peanut butter jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly and corn for dinner.
That's weird or something. That's people don't do that.
You put the jelly right on the cob. Yeah.
Right. And then spins it.
What do you have, Dylan?
I ate before I came here, and I made chicken speedies.
Oh hell yeah! Which speedy sauce did you use?
Just regular lemon garlic lupos, I think.
Yeah, do you know what this is? You know, Alan, have you ever heard of this?
It's like super known for like our area in New York. It's like food that's like just from here. It's basically like a marinated chicken kebab. But you just cut like a bunch of chicken breasts into like small cubes, and then you marinate them for like a day or whatever, and then you grill them together so they don't like burn or anything. They're just like cooked chicken, and then you can put it on anything. We have like speedy pizza, and we have like speedy salads, and speedy sub is kind of like what it is you just put all the chicken cubes like in a sub, and then I eat it plain because it's like already marinated chicken. And usually they put like more marinade or sauce on top. So it's kind of like, not dry. And I just eat the chicken sandwich. So I just made a whole bunch of chicken speedies tonight and just had like a pack of bread next to me. And I put like 5 cubes in a piece of bread, folded it and ate it. And I had like 3 of them. And then I came here.
Sounds amazing.
So it's a lot better than peanut butter and jelly and corn, I feel like. But
hey, it's my thing.
Well, hey, Alan, thanks for doing this with us, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
This was fun for sure.
Cool.
If I'm ever in El Paso, I'm going to come down and hang out.
Yeah, please do. You guys are welcome here anytime.
Yeah,
we'll play with your sweet board.
And your 5 dogs.
Yeah, bring Otto, please.
And we can just play Battlefield all night. I'm fine with that.
Dude, I'm down.
I'll get the new one, and we'll just play online together.
All right, sounds good.
I'll be the guy on Battlefield that's just has the wrong gun, like the sniper rifle. Dead, pointing it the wrong way. But it'll be fun.
Yeah, you can actually get on a tractor and ride around. So you could do the Mario Kart thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. Get me a steering wheel. I'll be the driver.
Cool.
All right, dude. Have a good night.
All right,
we'll
guys.
See you later.
Yep. Oh, hey, real quick before I say bye, I just have to say hey, Mo and Charlie, just because they work here and they're going to freak out hearing their names.
Hey, Mo. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Mo. Hey, Charlie. And Otto and Megan.
And everybody else. Yeah.
And everybody else. See you guys.
All right. Bye, guys.